The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Sink or swim, it never really seems to matter either way. And if a bill comes in, just throw it in the bin, because I'm sure to get some more another day. Zambezi, 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 Zam, I'm on my way. Zambezi, 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 Zam. Love's complications, but I haven't got the inclination, and I never learnt that hang facing my responsibilities. So when the bailiff comes, explain to him I haven't got a thing to give to him, but if he wants to come round visiting me, this is where I'll be. Zambezi, 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 Zam, I'm on my way. Zambezi, 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 Zam. Well, if my bank should phone, tell them I ain't at home, to say I packed me plastic bag and went away. As for the landlord's rent, I spent it on a tent, so if he's asking questions, you'll know what to say. Zambezi, 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 Zam, I'm on my way. Zambezi, 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 Zam. Zambezi, 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 Zam. Zambezi, 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 Zam.
Oh, 3444991,000 is the telephone number. I can't think of a better way to kick off a speech-based show with other than with Zambezi by the Piranhas. Hi, remember those guys? You won't because you're kids. I'm an old man. I remember the Piranhas. I remember my sister had this on vinyl, and I borrowed it, and I taped it, as I did with a lot of her music. I thought it was, I would say to her face, hey, this Two Tribes by Frankie Goes to Hollywood is crap. And then when she went out, I would go and record it. So, in your face! Good evening, dear listener. 03444991000 is the telephone number. This is the Late Night Alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio. It's a phone-in show, unlike any other phone-in show, because you don't need anything to phone in about. Unlike this guy, Philip from South Norwood.
G'day, this is Wally Dingo with your Aussie Rose Roundup. In weekend action, it was Port Adelaide over Richmond, Geelong over North Melbourne, the Giants over the Suns, Sydney over St Kilda, Essendon over the Lions, Fremantle over the Crows, and Collingwood over Melbourne. I'll see you next week. Until then, check out number 96 on YouTube. See ya.
Literally no idea what that man's banging on about. Not a clue what he's talking about. But you know what? That's what we want here. So you can give me a call about anything you want. 03444991000. Well done to everybody who's remembering the hashtag that I introduced 2 weeks ago and then forgot to mention since. Hashtag TLNA, the Late Night Alternative. Not really a lot to talk about this evening. There's nothing in the newspapers at all. Bleak times for news. So you can call in about absolutely anything you want. I've got very little. I tell you what, though, I've had a frustrating day. Good weekend, frustrating day. I was on Loose Women today with the lovely Colleen Nolan. What a joy. What an absolute joy. And it involved getting up quite early, and I hadn't slept very well. I had a bit of a headache. And as I got up, I was kind of pottering around the room I live in, and the kitchen sink in the room, it smelt a bit whiffy. And I thought it was because I'd made a cup of Ovaltine 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I hadn't cleaned the cup. I'd let it stick to the cup, so I was giving that a good old scrub. And I had my nose down the sink and was sniffing the sink. I thought that smells a bit ripe. So I poured some bleach down the sink. I think that's what we do, isn't it, to clean it? I think that's what we do. And then I had a little tidy up of the, I'm going to say kitchen area, but that is exaggerating significantly. There's a microwave, and then there's a little bit of work surface. And I kind of have I had a couple of rubbish bags up there, and I moved one rubbish bag, and clear liquid started pouring out of it. I thought, what the flipping hell is it? And I looked in there, and in what I thought was a rubbish bag, it was 2 pints of milk. Now, I don't remember buying 2 pints of milk since, like, middle of April, I think. So this 2-pinter had been in this supermarket bag, lying on its side, for pretty close 7 weeks. I'm going to say 7 weeks. And I looked, and it was just, and that whole bit of the work surface was covered in clear liquid. It looked like water. I thought, oh, I've dodged a bullet here. This is water. But man, it wasn't. It turns out when you leave, like, 2 pints of milk on its side for 7 weeks, it separates. The white juice separates and clear liquid becomes abundant. And basically, it was the stinkiest, most disgusting thing ever. 2 photo frames were ruined. Nice frames. They went in the bin. My helmet was cheesy. I had a cheesy helmet. That's where I kicked the motorcycle helmet. And that is soft inside, and that had absorbed this transparent milk juice. And so I gave it a scrub, and I kept sniffing it. I went, nah, there is not a chance in hell I can put this on my head ever again. I had to throw my helmet away, man. I had to throw it away and order another one. 80 quid. 80 quid. Forget the fact that 2 photos of my boys were ruined and smell of cheese, and they had to be thrown away. Although, actually, that's kind of like 4D. But my helmet was ruined. And now this tiny room I live in, dear God, I hate it in there. I was speaking to my therapist tonight on FaceTime. So modern. And he said the sooner you get out of that room and move into this house, the better you'll be. It's like when you go home and you put the key in the lock, it's like you're letting yourself back into your own prison cell. I was like, man, you got it. And now it's a prison cell that stinks of cheese. So I'm trying to clear up this mess, knowing that the car that's taking me to Loose Women is 3-4 minutes away. And I'm just getting So basically, when I was on Loose Women, if you saw it today, I was giving away a camper van. I stank of cheese. And also I was wearing another man's shirt, because when I got there, I got a coffee. And I took a sip from the coffee, and they hadn't put the lid on properly. So scalding coffee went all down me. Scalding. Come on, man. It was hot. That was all. It went all down there. All right, guys. Right, when I'm saying use the hashtag TLNA, I didn't want my cheesy helmet to become a meme. They're turning my cheesy helmet into a meme. Please, can you stop tweeting about my cheesy helmet? I tell you this stuff. In, what's the word? Confidence. Is that the word? Is that the word? I tell you this stuff in confidence. Means private, isn't it? I don't know. I don't have a clue. Anyway, so please don't tweet about my cheesy helmet. That's private. So anyway, I got to Loose Women and I had a coffee and I poured it all down my front and I had to go and borrow another man's chest. I was very nearly going to double denim because I had to go to the This Morning wardrobe department. The Loose Women wardrobe department only had frocks. I had to go to the This Morning wardrobe department and try and blag a shirt. The first shirt they gave me was very nice. It was denim with my jeans, but it was too tight and it really kind of pushed my moobs together. I was looking like a hot lady. I was looking hotter than some of those ladies on a RuPaul's Drag Race, a programme that Catherine just made me watch. And I'll be honest, I haven't got a clue what was going on. It was some drag queens, I guess we call them drag queens because it's Drag Race. I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to tread on anybody's high heels, but it was these drag queens, two of whom were like beautiful, beautiful women. The other 6 were like blokes. And they were acting out this weird scene. I've never seen anything like it. Anyway, I've got no idea what we're ittering on about. We have 4 calls lined up. You could be the 5th call, dear listener. 0344 499 1000. You'll speak to Catherine. She'll take your name and number and she will give you a call straight back. Probably. If she doesn't, please don't be offended. We're just trying to, how can I say this? Kath and I are trying to up our game. We are both trying to up our games and give you the best show that we can do. It might backfire, but we're really trying to just I think we dropped the ball a couple of times last week, both of us. So we're gonna, I don't know, it's just words, isn't it? None of this matters. It's just a late night radio show on a Poxy DAB radio station, that's all. 0344 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
The wild man of late night radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Oh, 3444991,000. Hey, this is exciting. Do you remember last week we played a cover of what was that song? Oh, what was that song? What was that song we played, Alan? The cover of it.
Was it Toto in Africa?
No, it was Toto and Rosanna. Thanks. It was by these blokes, Richie Castellano and Andy Ascoles, I'm going to say. And basically, they're these 2 blokes, and they recorded a cover version of Rosanna in about 5 hours, and they put it on YouTube, and it's brilliant. Well, one of them is going to come on the radio in about 15 minutes' time.
Ooh.
Oh! Hey, and this week as well, we've got Kenny Jones, the drummer from the Small Faces, coming on.
Wow!
And you sound like Eartha Kitt there. Do that again.
Wow!
And can I do it one more time?
Wow!
Thank you. I'll have that clip, please. And we got these 2 blokes who do this brilliant Paul McCartney podcast coming on Wednesday as well. So it's a busy, busy week.
Cool.
There we go. What have you got for us tonight, Alan Caddy?
What's your relationship with Jeremy Vine like?
Sorry?
What's your relationship with Jeremy Vine like?
Hey, I love Jeremy Vine. Why? What's he done?
He's taken over from Matthew Wright on Channel 5.
What the What? On the Right Stuff?
Yeah.
The show they...
new name and everything.
The show they promised to me?
It's Jeremy Vine's taking over. In September. That's some soccer. Calm down, Iain. Calm down. Think about your blood pressure. Think about your blood pressure, Iain. Think about your blood pressure. Just take it calm. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. In through the nose and out with the mouth. In and out. In and out. In and and
well, I would like to be the first person here to wish congratulations on Jeremy Vine, and I wish him the very best of luck in hosting the Right Stuff. I think I couldn't think of anyone better to do it than Jeremy Vine. Well done, Jeremy. Great work, Jeremy Vine. Well done. Like you need another job, Vine. You get £650,000 a year, like you need another job.
You do realise on mornings there'll be a battle of the Jeremys. Jeremy Wine versus Jeremy Kyle.
Yep, Jeremy Wine versus Jeremy Kyle. Well, I wish those guys the best of luck. Thanks very much indeed. What have you got for us tonight?
Well, I went to a cycle event yesterday.
You went to what?
A bicycle event.
Ah, bicycle event, you'll say. Sounds boring.
Well, put it this way, there's quite a few cheesy helmets there.
OK, thanks very much indeed for your call, Alan. That's outrageous behaviour. Let's go to Germany. Du bist...
Hello, Ian.
Du bist du, Iris?
Hello, Ian.
Du bist.
Ich bin.
Ich bin 13 Jahre alt.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, it's true. Well, that was the age I stopped learning German, or I stopped paying attention in German. I didn't get to... well, no, I can do 13, 13. I can't do 14, but then I can do 15.
Very good.
Dankeschön. Entschuldigung Sie bitte, wie komme ich am besten zum Bahnhof?
Oh, very good. You should come over here.
Yeah, only if I can, the only thing I can say is how do I get to the train station or the new townhouse? But then I can only understand the instructions if it's gehen Sie hier geradeaus, über die Kreuzung, and die Bahnhof ist auf dem linken Seite.
Ah, very correct.
So I can only go to the train station if it's straight down here, over the crossroads, and it's on the left-hand side. Otherwise, I haven't got a clue. And if it's that way, I could probably see it. So I wouldn't need to ask. So it's a minefield. It's a language minefield, Iris.
Well, you can brush it up.
I brush it off regularly. I'm getting divorced. Anyway, Iris, enough of these lavatorial jokes. It's lovely to talk to you. I'm assuming you're Iris the Monkeys fan.
Right, that's why I'm calling.
Here we go. At last we speak. We've tweeted, we've emailed, and at last, wie sprechen.
I actually wanted to call on Friday, but I was too jet-lagged because I just came home from California where I've seen Mickey and Mike.
Oh, you went to California to see Mike Nesmith and Mickey Dolenz?
Yes.
Wowzers, how was it?
Absolutely brilliant.
Oh,
Mickey is rocking the stage, and Mike is very, very funny.
And Mike is rocking the attitude. Well,
Right.
Well, here's the thing. I'm flying out next Wednesday to go and see them in New York, or near New York, twice.
You will have fun.
But then here's the thing. Then I got a phone call this evening saying, how much do you want to go and see the Monkees? I said, quite a lot. They said, because you've just been offered a job in Africa. That's a true story. That's not even a joke. That's an actual true story. And I went, how much is it? And they said, it's quite a bit of money. And I went, I tell you what, if this is how cocky I am. I said, I tell you what, if they triple the money, I'll do it. They haven't said no to that stupid request yet. So I might be going to Africa instead of New York. We just don't know, Iris. We just don't know.
I would prefer New York.
Well, I would prefer New York, but if they cave into my ridiculous financial demand, then I'm buying a house, and that money would be really, really handy. It would be really handy.
I got your point.
You see, but it was good, was it? It was good. Highlights of the show, please.
Randy Scouse geht Akustik.
What? Auf dem Englisch. Sprechen Sie Englisch?
Yes, I do.
What was the
acoustic set? It's very, very, very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, we have a rule on this show that I'm only allowed to talk about the Monkees for 2 minutes a month because, get this, Iris, get this. Some people don't think the Monkees are the greatest pop band in the world and get bored when I talk about it. They're losers.
Yes, they are.
And I hate every one of them. Hey, it's so nice to hear your voice after at last, after, the tweets and the emails. Did you take your little knitted Mickey Dolenz with you?
Of course.
Of course you did. It would have been rude not to. Iris,
I will send you the link to the photos. You can watch them.
Please do. I want to see them more than anything.
Okay.
Iris, nice to talk to you. Call again. Oh, there we go. I pressed the wrong button. Thank you, Iris. There we go. Delightful. This is one of the joys of being a Monkees fan in the 21st century. Well, no, even in the 20th century to a certain extent. I know all these wonderful people around the world. I've met only a handful of them, but people are Iris, and there'll be people I meet if I do go to New York next week. There'll be people that I've never met before that I just know from Facebook. And they'll make me feel very welcome. But also, they'll make me feel very welcome in a way that isn't too much. You know what I mean by too much? It won't be, hey, you must come over and stay it out. There'll be none of that. They'll be just, we'll meet you. Well, we're going to be in this bar an hour before the show. And if we don't meet you there, we'll meet you in the lobby and maybe we'll say hello during the interview. It's that kind of vibe. That kind of vibe I can dig, dear listener. 0344 499 1000. Good evening, Glenn.
Good evening, Ian.
Good evening, Glenn.
It's only 81 or 82 days till we come and see you in Glasgow.
Oh, well, here's the exciting thing. Let me tell you this, and Catherine, I've got the update on the figures. So on the Saturday the 1st of September, Catherine and I will be performing at the 200-seat venue, The Stand in Edinburgh. And on the Sunday the 2nd of September, I think it's a 160-seat venue, The Stand in Glasgow. I may have got those numbers the wrong way around. Right. So, for the show you're coming to, bearing in mind it's in September, Glenn, in Glasgow, we've sold 31 tickets.
Good. That's a good start.
And in Edinburgh, the bigger venue, we've sold 13 tickets. So here's the thing, Scotland. Pull your fingers out, right? You begged us to come to your country. You begged us. And we ummed and we ahed and we said, well, but people won't come, and you begged us. So we booked in 2 dates. And at this rate, we ain't even going to cover our costs.
I'll spread the word.
Thanks, man. If you want to come, guys, you want to see the list of tour dates, Edinburgh, Glasgow, Bath, Brighton and Manchester, iainlee.com/events. iainlee.com/events. I'm looking forward to it, Glenn. It'll be a lot of fun.
Me too. You were talking about the Monkees just there.
Yes.
Kind of the reason why I'm phoning, I was listening to one of your shows from years and years ago recently, and you were telling a story about being in the bathroom with, I think it was the late, great Davy Jones.
Davy Jones, had a slash next to Davy Jones. Oh, yes.
And forgive me for asking, but I'm right in saying I'm not looking for details, but you did look, didn't you?
Mate, listen. Here's the thing, right? It was I went and saw a tiny concert that he did in a hotel in Paynton in Devon. And during the interval, I went into the toilet. There were 3 urinals. Davy was at the one on the right. There was a guy at the one on the left. You know the rules, Glenn. You don't go and stand in the middle urinal. So I headed to the cubicle, and then I thought, no. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity to have a slash next to one of my favourite people. And so I came out of the cubicle, and I went and stood in at the middle urinal, and I urinated. And yes, of course, I looked down at Davy's willy. Of course I did. Of course I did.
I applaud you, and it makes me wonder if this is perhaps an interesting topic for other people.
Here we go.
In terms of inappropriate things you've done with or near celebrities. I've got my own story if you're interested.
Go on, please. Of course I'm interested.
Okay, I'll try and keep this as clean as I can.
Yeah.
When I was 19, I was home alone, and being 19 and home alone, I did something to pleasure myself.
Listen, can I just say, if you are the parents of teenage boys, right, every time you leave the house or go downstairs, they are whipping it out and wanging away. If you get up from your bed and go downstairs to let the cat out and then come back out, they'll have knocked 2 out by the time you get back. I swear to God, your little innocent 14, 15, 16, 17, 25-year-old sons, that is exactly what they're doing. Sam, I don't need a hallelujah from you, but you know what I'm talking about, don't you? Yes.
So I did the deed, and I swear to you, about half an hour later, despite the fact that I'm usually a very hygienic person, I always wash my hands, by sheer chance, I met the Prime Minister, the then Prime Minister, shook his hand, and then realised afterwards that I hadn't washed them.
Which Prime Minister are we talking about?
This would have been Mr. Gordon Brown the day before he called that old lady a bigot.
Wow. And just think the things he could have said about you under his breath, had he known.
I know.
So
I'm just glad they didn't have one of those black lights from CSI.
Right, okay. We don't want to go into too much detail, but who were you thinking of?
What, when I was doing the thing?
Yeah, not when you were shaking hands with Gordon Brown, you muppet, when you were doing the thing.
Do you know what? At the age of 19, I was probably online, so I don't know.
So, so by definition, Gordon Brown, the then Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, was one step away from online hardcore pornography. That's outrageous. Yeah. That's outrageous.
Hope that helps.
Thanks very much for that, Glenn.
Take care.
There we go. If you've ever masturbated and then shaken the hands of a politician or a celebrity, it's a very niche phone-in, isn't it? Very niche. 0344 499 1000. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
Unfiltered night talk with the original king of unconventional conversation on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
All I wanna do when I wake up in the morning is see you rise. Rosanna, Rosanna. I never thought that a girl like you could ever care for me. Rosanna.
reason, right, we're playing this. Last week, we just trawling through YouTube as we do lazily on this show. That's what we consider to be looking for content and production, is just trawling through the internet. And then we found this, right, this Rosanna cover by Richie Castellano, and I'm going to get it wrong, but I'm going to just go for it. I'm just going to dive in, and I'm going to say Andy Ascalise. There we go. Right. And this is I've just tweeted the link to it, right? It's nuts. So it's these two blokes, and they've basically knocked up this pretty spot-on cover of the Toto song it says here, they did it in 5 hours and they streamed it live. Right, first of all, I'm totally nicking this idea. When I get my new house, totally nicking this idea of streaming me recreating classic rock tunes on the webcam and stuff like that. Although you have to bear in mind, I can't play keyboards. I can do chords. And I'm not very good on guitar. I'm a wicked bass player, but I'm not very good on guitar, and I can't sing. Apart from that, I'm totally nicking their idea. Anyway, we thought it was brilliant. I was interested and intrigued to find out a little bit more, and I believe that Richie is on the line now. Good evening, Richie.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, man. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on your show.
Oh, man, listen, honestly, we played your whole track last week. We love it. First of all, now, which one are you? Are you the dude with the beard?
Yes, I am.
Oh, so let's be honest, Richie. You're the main guy.
No, I can't do. I have a lot of help. I have some very talented, great friends, and I can't do this sort of thing without them.
Oh, well, very diplomatic of you, but come on, you're the McCartney, you're the Emmett Rhodes of this group. We understand that. Now, so tell me, and I know very little about you, but what little I've read, I'm fascinated by it. First of all, why were you doing a cover? Why did you and your mate Andy want to do this cover?
We have a show. It's a YouTube show called Band Geek.
Yep.
And we do all these crazy sorts of undertakings every so often. We try to do it weekly, but it's sometimes monthly. And we just try to create weird, off-the-wall things. And we done this before with some sort of simpler songs. Like I did one by myself. You Can't Do That by the Beatles, which is, I'm a huge Beatles fan.
Yep.
And You Can't Do That's a pretty straightforward song, and I could sort of play everything.
Yeah.
But my skills as a drummer and keyboardist are sort of limited, so Andy is a great keyboard player and a great drummer, so I said, okay, why don't you come over, and we won't pick a song. We'll go on the live stream, and we'll say, okay, whatever you guys want us to record, we'll record it. Basically, we got sort of like, we got arrogant about it. Like, yeah, no problem, we'll be able to do anything.
Yeah.
And then the audience said, oh, why don't you do Rosanna by Toto? And we looked at each other and we went, oh, no.
That's some song, man. That is some song.
Yeah. So, we're big Toto fans. I love Steve Lukather. So, I was familiar with it. But poor Andy had to learn most of it on the spot.
Yeah.
So he was at a severe disadvantage. So we just did it, and we got into it. And we thought, oh, no problem. We'll record a song. It'll take us like 2 or 3 hours. And it ended up taking us like 5 hours to do it.
But even that, right, that's incredible that in 5 hours you've got, it's all there. All the harmonies, the keyboards, everything is there, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, that sort of became my thing. I did a video maybe 6 years ago on YouTube. I'm playing Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm playing all the parts by myself, singing all the parts. And after that, yeah.
Now he's just showing off. Come on, yeah. Really? Wow. Well,
after that, I sort of developed a reputation for it, and I have to keep things at a certain level.
Wow! Hey, listen, I noticed. I can see you're a Queen fan because I can see in the back of this video. There's you've got a Brian May guitar, haven't you?
Yes, I do.
Can I bore you with my Brian May story?
Bore me, please. I love Brian May.
So I made this documentary about, God, I don't know, 8 years ago, about Vox amplifiers, and it's online. You can see it on YouTube. And one of the things that we did was we went to the Vox factory and we heard all these stories about, going on tour with the Rolling Stones, and it was filthy. And then in the afternoon, we went to Brian May's house. And we weren't allowed in the house, but we went into his garage where he's basically got a whole stack of Vox amps, right? And so we're there, and his roadie is there with the guitar, and I touched the guitar. And I'm not a massive Queen fan, but even I got, Richie, that this was pretty special. And then Brian shuffles in, and he puts on the guitar, and it's literally me stood right next to him. We're almost touching with these amps behind us. And he's just noodling, and he's talking about why he loves the Vox amp, and, you know, and if you do this, it does this effect, and if you do this, it does this effect, and it's a really raw sound. And I said to him, what sound do you get if you change the pickups on your guitar? And he went, oh, that's the Bo Rap sound. And he flicked it, and he started playing the solo to Bohemian Rhapsody to me. And I'm not a big Queen fan, Richie, but even I turned to the camera and you can see 15-year-old me grinning like a lunatic. Because that's cool, man. He's there playing the Bohemian Rhapsody solo.
That's amazing. I'd probably cry.
Well, I was just grinning like an idiot going, oh, my God. It's well, I'll send you the link. So how long have you been doing this for, then, the Band Geek?
I think we've been doing it for 3 or 4 years. This is actually like my hobby project. My main job is I play guitar and keyboards in Blue Oyster Cult, and that's what I've been doing for 14 years. About.
You just drop. Hang on a minute. That knocks my Brian May story into a cocked hat.
No, it doesn't.
You play keyboards in Blue Oyster Cult?
Yeah, guitar and keyboards. I've been doing that since 2004.
Oh, mate, we're talking to rock royalty here, for crying out loud. All right,
no, that's the main guys in the band. That's Buck Dharma and Eric Bloom.
So listen, I'm flying to New York next week to go and see the Monkees. There's only 2 of those dudes in there, but everyone on that stage is in the band as far as I'm concerned. How did you get that gig, man?
Oh, that's I was their fill-in sound guy.
Yeah.
I would mix the band. I was in college when I was doing it.
Wow.
And they had a vacancy in the band. It came up suddenly, and they were sort of in a spot. And they said, "Oh, can you play with us this weekend? Can you learn 22 songs in 4 days?" And I was
went, yeah, 20... I can learn all of your parts in 5 hours, guys. Come on.
I said yes, I could do it. I was 24 at the time. Beautiful. And I went out that weekend. I played with them. My first show with them was in Las Vegas, which is a sort of a fan meeting point. Yeah. So all the hardcore Blue Oyster Cult fans meet at this Las Vegas gig. And so that was my first show in front of the most critical audience possible.
Hey, that guy played a wrong note there, and he missed out. You'd have been dead meat.
They notice everything. The Blue Oyster Cult fans have very good ears. They know the catalog really, really well. Wow. And so that was my first gig, and that was 14 years ago, and they haven't fired me yet, so I'm very happy about that.
Can you believe how it's all worked? I mean, I love that thing at 24. Can you learn all these songs? Yeah, not a problem. The arrogance of youth, which is great, or confidence, whatever. But can you believe that you're in Blue Oyster Cult?
It's great. It's a real honor, and it's not like one of those. I mean, I know you just said when you saw the Monkees, or you're going to see the Monkees, and you consider everyone to be in the band. I mean, a lot of bands, they have like the main guys and sidemen, and fortunately for me, that's not how Blue Oyster Cult is. They really treat everybody like part of the band. Beautiful. I mean, I sing songs with the band. I get a few lead spots. They don't have the massive ego where it's like, oh, only we're playing, only we're singing, and you just sit in the back in the dark. No, they want to have a band. They want everybody to be part of it, and that's a real honor for me to be part of that legacy, because this is a band that's been around for over 40 years.
Yeah. Oh man, of course. So you've been doing the Band Geek live stream, and you record the songs. Live, so you do each part live, and people. I mean, I can see you've got 26,000 subscribers. I'm subscribed.
Thank you.
Pleasure. The Rosanna's got 60,000 views, and people will sit and watch for 5 hours. Will they? As you put it all together.
You know what? I don't have a good grasp on what's entertaining and what's not, because I'll be doing it.
I'm doing this.
I'll be doing it. And I'll be apologizing to the audience the whole time, because I'll be singing, like, for example, the lead vocal in Rosanna, which is really hard. Yeah. So I'll do a bunch of takes, and my voice will be cracking, and I'll be like, oh, guys, I'm so sorry. And then people are typing, what are you talking about? This is amazing. Like, they're people that, I guess when you sound like you're a musician, right?
Well, I play a little bit of bass. Let's say that.
So are probably sick of the process, like of having to practice and getting and doing things over and over again, especially with recording.
Yeah.
So we take it for granted. But for certain people who don't get the opportunity of being the fly on the wall in the recording studio, it's really cool. So that's something that we keep in mind when we're doing this. And I'm always like, I'm very apologetic to the audience when I make mistakes. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, I have to do this bass track again. I screwed up this part, and they're like, no, it's cool. Like that, they like that. It almost feels it's more real when there are mistakes. And we're happy to oblige them in that reality by making plenty of them.
Who is it? I've just flicked to another one. Hold the Line from 2015. Now this it looks like you're recording this in a music shop. Don't tell me that's your house.
No, that one in particular is at a friend's house.
Wow.
The other Rosanna, that's in my basement, in my house. But this one was in a friend of mine, a great musician named Joe Cumia.
Yeah.
It's in his house, and we went over to him and did an episode by him, and that's one of the songs we did.
Wow. Hey, listen, man. So, all right. So, what people? I've tweeted the link, and I'll tweet it out again a bit later on. Where's the best place? I think what you're doing is brilliant, and I'm a big fan, Richie, of how things like Twitter, not so much Twitter, but things like YouTube and podcasts. YouTube and podcasts means that everybody now has a chance, for a few £100 worth of equipment, has a chance to kind of create stuff, whether it be radio shows or TV shows or movies or sketches or songs or podcast. They can create all of this stuff and make it look and sound as slick and as professional as they want, or, as amateur as they want, and put it out there. And I love it. I love the fact that people like you are doing this creative stuff, man. It's brilliant.
Oh, thank you very much. I mean, that's something I say to everybody. A lot of my friends are musicians. They're saying, I don't know what to do. I said, you have a phone, and YouTube is free, so you can do anything you want. You can put up stuff every day if you're motivated enough to do it. Another thing I always wanted to mention that I started doing.
Yeah.
I'm doing more live stuff every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. New York time. I do a live streaming show about 2 hours where I play with backing tracks. I have automated cameras and lights and everything like that. And that's been really fun. And so if any of your listeners want to check that out.
Well, I think, Kath, am I right with 5 hours? What time is it there now, Richie?
All right. By me, it's 5:47.
This is perfect, man. We're 5 hours ahead of you. That means that when this show finishes on Wednesday, everybody, I mean, obviously carry on listening to Paul Ross on Talk Radio. Yeah, sure. But everybody can go over and watch Richie. I'll be watching it when I get home this Wednesday, man.
Thank you very much.
Where are the best places for me to send people to, so if they're interested, they can come and have a look at your wares?
Oh, thank you. The best places are my website, which is richiecastellano.com.
Right.
And I have a YouTube channel, which I'm very active on, and that's youtube.com/Richie Castellano. I have a lot of fun stuff up there.
Right. I'm gonna tweet those during the next break as well, Richie, so we can send people in those directions. And stay in touch, man. You ever want to come on and plug stuff, or you want some tips on some real music, you want to speak to the Brits who invented it, then you're very welcome to come on anytime, Richie. Honestly, I love what you're doing, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. Take care. There we go. If you follow me on Twitter, @Iain Lee, I'll tweet all of that stuff during the next break, or maybe during the news at 11 o'clock. What a nice bloke. What a nice bloke. And I noticed, I said the first one has got something like 60,000 views. That second one I went to, just under 300,000. Yeah, just under 300,000 views. That's great. And I don't like Twitter, and I'm getting close to kind of getting off Twitter. And I don't really like Facebook, but things like being able to podcast and YouTube are incredible, that you can make something and you don't need to spend much money. You get a decent mic. If you want it to sound good, you spend the money on a decent mic or a decent digital recorder. You can get one for around £100. You can make a professional sounding podcast that sounds more professional than this. Listen to my squeaky chair. No, it won't squeak now, but you get the point. 0344 499 1000. Dan, stay there. Come to you in a second. This is Talk Radio.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.
I think we're going to get more podcasters on and more people doing stuff. I think we did that in New York last year. It was a year ago we were in New York. And we spoke to some really good podcasts. And I say we've got the guys that do the Take It Away Paul McCartney podcast coming on Wednesday at midnight. And it's a really good podcast. And we'll talk about McCartney, but we will also talk about the technology and the science and the art and the wherewithal of making your own podcast. So we won't. Well, yeah, of course we'll talk about McCartney. We'll talk. I will tell them that the Frog Chorus is actually a work of genius. It is. You listen to the Frog Chorus again, man. It's amazing. But don't worry if you're not a McCartney fan, because I want to find out how they did it, because it sounds really slick, right? And they put a lot of work into it, a lot of work in terms of editing and making it sound as slick as they can. So I think we might try and get a few more podcasters on, and maybe when I'm in New York next week, I'll see if I can go and meet up with a few people and speak to some people. That's what we'll do. 03444991000 is the telephone number. Good evening, Dan.
Good evening.
Oh, that was said with vim, and I'm going to say it, Dan, with vigour.
Well, Ian, I'm sitting in the car, right? I've got my mate Murray, and I got my mate Matt.
And you've got your mate's speakerphone as well, but I might let it slide just this once.
Oh, give me a sec. Give me 2 seconds, mate. Give me 2 seconds.
Screw Murray and Matt. They don't need to hear this. They're losers.
Oh, well, that's all right. That's all right. But what was I going to say?
I don't know.
Matt's got an interview tomorrow at Spoons.
At Spoons?
Yeah.
What Weatherspoons?
Yeah.
You call it Spoons?
Do you not know that everyone calls it Spoons?
I've never heard Weatherspoons called Spoons.
Honestly, we're all obviously, the youth, the millennials. We all call it Spoons. Oh. It's just quick. You go, all right, mate. Do you want to go for a cheeky Spoons? Yeah, all right then. Oh, where are we going to drink? Oh, we're going Spoons.
Well, hang on. You're calling it a cheeky Spoons. That's the same number of syllables as Weatherspoons.
Yeah, but there's a difference between Spoons and cheeky Spoons. Because if you just go with Spoons, you go at like 10 o'clock in the morning when you're sort of hanging and you just want to full English. Whereas a cheeky Spoons is with like people you haven't seen in ages, and you just go for like the absolute banter. And there's like, there's just, beers, well, not beers flying, but jokes are flying.
Jokes.
The drinks are getting down here. The Jaeger, exactly 2 for 12 pitches. Woo woo.
Yeah, woo, yeah. You guys sound like you're having so much fun, and you're the reason that we've got Brexit. Huh?
Have you got... You what? Oh, yeah, we're not talking about Brexit.
No.
But what are your tips for Matt going for an interview at Spoons?
Well, I wouldn't call it Spoons.
Well, it saves a bit of time, doesn't it?
No, but in the interview, I wouldn't call it Spoons. I would call it Weatherspoons, and I would refer to the boss as Mr. Weatherspoons.
He's a massive Brexiteer, isn't he?
Yeah, I know, but now it's costing him a fortune. That'll learn him.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there's the unicorn alarm.
That's right, yeah.
My tip would be, if you've got a job interview at Spoons, is don't turn up. How bad can your life be that you want to go and work in Spoons?
Well, do you want to go on, Matt, say something. What, is your life that bad?
No, I'm just back from uni.
Well, what, for your summer holidays or forever?
I like Spoons. I want to work there.
All right, well, you go and work there. I don't know, Dan. What will Chris Tarrant say?
He'd say go and work at Spoon. Will he A, serve a pint, B, serve a pitcher, C, a Jaeger bomb, or D, something else?
What's your answer going to be, Matt?
Jaeger.
There we go. Thank you very much indeed. Not a clue. What a bunch of delightful fruit. They call it Spoons? Spoons? Kids these days are so flippin' lazy, aren't they? 03444991000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You'd be very good. Please, I don't want to beg you guys, but please buy tickets for our Edinburgh show. We've sold 13 in a venue that holds about 200. I mean, come on, guys. Please. I'm begging you. If you go to iainlee.com/events, then even if you don't want to come, here's the thing. You don't even have to come. You can just buy a ticket, and that will be enough. It'd be great to see you there. We'd love to see you there. But if you don't want to turn up, you're feeling a little bit shy, a little bit you guys begged us to come to Scotland, and now you are stitching us up like absolute kippers. 0344 499 1000. When we come back after the news, lots to talk about, including the people having a party on my car at 5:30 this morning. A party on my car! Yesterday, I did the most English thing ever. I went to a recording of Antiques Roadshow. Oh, yes! I was at the Antiques Roadshow! And they fake it. They fake the ooze. Someone had a teapot that was worth 200 quid. It was a Tiffany teapot or something. It was a Tiffany tea something. I think it was a teapot. And it was worth 200 quid because it was Tiffany. And everyone went, ooh. And the director came in and went, yeah, we're going to need a bigger ooh. And they faked the ooze. Outrageous. 03, and I've got loads of others, talking about mini golf as well. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give me a call. You speak to Catherine, she'll take your name and number and give you a call back. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio with me, Iain Lee.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
That's all him. That's Richie Castellano. We had on half an hour. That's all him. I'm sat there watching it, and he's doing it all. I don't understand it. My brain can't compute. Oh, we'll get Richie. Richie's welcome on any time. I'm in New York next week. I might pop round and see him. That's all him doing that. How is that even possible? And he's a big lad, and he's doing the Michael Jackson as a 6-year-old voice. Love that. Thank you, Richie. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Good evening, Jackie.
Hello, Hello, Ian. How are you?
I went to see them filming an episode of Antiques Roadshow yesterday.
Oh, well, guess where I was yesterday?
I don't know. I'm going to say it's too rude. Where were you?
I was in Liverpool seeing Paul McCartney.
Oh, now, was this the thing he was doing with James Corden?
Yeah.
So,
he was he was all round the pier head.
Yeah.
And then he went to do a gig at the Philharmonic pub.
Did you get in the pub?
Well, we were outside.
Could you hear it?
Oh, yeah. It was absolutely brilliant. He isn't one of my favourite Beatles. My favourite Beatle is John Lennon.
Yeah. He isn't even one of your favourite. Wow, gosh.
Oh, yeah. John Lennon. We went over to see the exhibition in the museum.
Yeah.
And then it all kicked off.
Right, so for those who don't know, Paul McCartney did like James Corden, Jesus. And they went round Liverpool and they went to his old home and all of that stuff, and then he ended up doing a gig in a pub. What songs did he play?
Hard Day's Night.
Oh.
And he ended with Hey Jude. And James Corden ended up doing that with him on stage.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's all on YouTube.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. People have videoed it and everything. The reason I was calling, it was the fridge thing. The fridge.
The what?
Putting things in your fridge.
What?
Before when you said about the milk going off.
Oh, yeah, the milk. Oh, God, I haven't got a fridge where I live.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't got a fridge,
I've been
imagine.
on hold that long.
Oh, yeah, no, that's all right. Go on. Well, no, you haven't.
Yeah.
No, you haven't. You've been on... No, I've seen exactly when you called in. You called in about 15 minutes ago.
I know. Kath said to me, I'll phone you back in half an hour.
No, yeah, Kath is a little minx, and boy, oh boy, she's in
Oh,
trouble.
bless her. Yeah, the show's been great. There's so much to talk about. I did this the other week, not in the fridge, but in my microwave.
Yes.
And I put something in the microwave.
Yes.
I thought, right, I'll do that tomorrow.
Oh, no.
And then a few days later, I thought, where's that smell coming from?
Bit ripe.
Where's that smell coming from? I did a stir fry.
Oh.
And I had some vegetables, and I thought, I'll put them in the bowl and I'll do them tomorrow.
Yes.
About 3 or 4 days later, I thought, where's that smell coming from?
Deja vu.
And then I opened the microwave and I went, whoa!
Hey, what the heck?
Oh, my God, what is
Sweet baby
that?
Jesus!
Oh, my God, it took me about 4 days to get rid of the smell.
Oh, God.
Oh, I was mortified.
So what was it? Vegetables?
It was just, I just steamed some vegetables in the microwave.
Wow.
Well, after the stir fry. And I put it in the microwave, thought, right, okay, I'll do that tomorrow, and I'll put it back in the stir fry. And I forgot about it.
Mate, stinky vegetables are... Well, but here's the thing. Stinky vegetables is bad, but stinky milk is worser, isn't it? Badder. Bad. Worse.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know about that, Ian. It was just...
Pause.
I opened the fridge, and I was like... I literally... I was sick.
Well, were you literally sick?
Literally.
You literally threw up?
I did throw up.
Oh, you dirty mare, so it got even stinkier.
It was that bad,
Wow.
and I thought, oh my God, I can't believe I've left that in my microwave.
Hey, Jackie, will you join me? Hang on a second. I'm just going to stay there because we need to commemorate this. Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on a minute. We need to commemorate this. There we go. Let's bear with me a second. I'm going to need your help with something. All right. And I know your game. And
you do.
I know your game.
I
know your game, girl. Hang on a second.
Go on,
Here we go. Ready? Na 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 na. Come on, Jackie. Na 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 na. Hey Jude.
Judy.
Na 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 na. Hey, go on, Jackie.
Judy.
Come on, Jackie. Take it home.
La 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 la. Hey, Judy.
Na 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 na. Sam, put your headphones on. Na 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 na. All right, everyone, be quiet. I just want to hear Sam singing it.
Na 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 na. Hey Jude.
Now, Catherine, take it home for me, please.
Na 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 na. Come on, Jackie. Na 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 na. Hey Jude.
Everybody, take it home with me. Na 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 na. Hey Jude. Thanks, Jackie.
You're welcome.
Bye. Seriously, if Richie Castellano is still listening, you got competition, brother. You got Blue Oyster Cult or not? You got competition, brother. Yeah, here's the thing. This is can I share with you something that will sound petty, but it sums up. I think it sums up perfectly how nutty McNuts I am, right? And how there are things that should give me immense pleasure, but instead I find I can't watch them, right? Can I share this? Do you know where I'm going with this? Let me share this, right? So Paul McCartney's done this thing where he's gone around Liverpool and there's pictures of him stood by the Beatles statues, taking a selfie and going to Penny Lane and gone to his childhood home, which I think is National Trust now, isn't it? I think. Gone there for the first time in 50 years and gone and done this gig in this pub and all of that. And that's brilliant. And I would love to see that because I'm going through a huge McCartney thing. He's got a new album coming out, which I can't wait for. But here's the thing. When McCartney releases a new album, about half of it is really good and the other half not so good. And I'm happy with those odds, right? So I should really be looking forward to watching this whole Paul McCartney thing. Here's the thing. I'm never going to be able to watch it because James Corden is in it. James Corden is in it. And because of that, because there'll be a part of me that's thinking, well, I would have done that better. I'd have done that. But no, I wouldn't have done it better because I would never have been given the opportunity to do it. So, of course, I wouldn't have done it better. And also, I just don't get Corden, right? I don't get Corden. So, to see Corden, a man who I met him years ago, before Gavin and Stacey. He was in the History Boys at the National Theatre, Alan Bennett play. And my then girlfriend had worked with him, I think, because we went to the stage door and we met him and said hello, and he was very charming, very delightful. But I don't get Corden. And the fact that he is doing... Do you know what I mean? Doesn't that sound petty? Doesn't it sound petty? If I were to watch it, I would still get pleasure from it, from seeing McCartney... You know, goofing around by the Beatles statue. That'd be funny. Taking a selfie at a Beatles statue. That'd be funny. But I can't watch it because Corden's in it. I just can't. And so I will deny myself any pleasure that I may get from watching McCartney because of James Corden. The switchboard is empty, dear listener. Now's the great time to pick up the phone and give us a call. It will cost you, probably be free, pennies at most. You'll speak to Catherine. She will take your name and number and give you a call straight back. 0344 499 1000. This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.
0344 499 1000. So, I went to a recording of Antiques Roadshow on Sunday. Beautiful day. Very English thing to do. And what I'm about to say, I've said this before about things. I don't mean it to make light, right? But there was no security check there. I really thought there'd be at least a bit of a bag search going on. There was nothing, right? And it's all crammed in. You've got, like, the main area where they do the big reveals and where Fiona Bruce does her links and things. Then you've got these little tables all set up with glassware, jewellery, furniture, all of this, and then huge queues, and the experts are there. But the experts at the little tables they're not being filmed, right? You only get taken away and filmed if it's a big thing. You get taken to the main arena. But everything's cramped in, and there were a few thousand people there. And I did think, right, it's the most English thing in the world. It's the BBC, and there's no security. Kind of think, I mean, if you wanted to create a big stir as a terrorist, that would be the place to go. And also, I don't feel particularly bad about saying it, because I noticed that The Sun today have given instructions to ISIS on how to go and attack the new RAF jets. They've pointed out exactly where they're kept and exactly where there's like a really small rickety fence that you could climb over. So me saying, you know, ISIS could easily infiltrate an Antiques Roadshow. First of all, I don't think ISIS is going to be listening to this and going, hey, that guy's got an idea. But I was very surprised. But so we went to some of the places. We watched the Grumpy Glassware Man, who's quite grumpy, and he told a lady off. But my favourite place... Oh, there was two. One was the Militaria, where there was this guy who'd... Right, so there's a big queue there. People queue up and they get the medals out. And the military guy was cheating because he had books. He would look things up in books. And I'd think, well, I could Google it, mate. That's not... But so there was a queue. But then there was also a chair there. And there was a guy sat in a chair who hadn't queued up. And I don't know if he'd gone through the correct vetting process, because if you were just going in as a punter, you could just walk in. If you were going in to get stuff viewed, you had to kind of queue up in one queue to be... I don't know. I mean, this guy had like this giant swastika. Like a giant iron eagle swastika. It was an incredible thing. I tweeted a picture of it and someone told me off for tweeting a picture of a swastika. Idiots. But the best table, right? The best table was for what my mum and dad would call toot. Bric-a-brac. They use the term collectibles, which is a catch-all that means nothing. So we spent a lot of time at the collectibles table, right? And basically it was chances. It was people who'd... Oh, Antiques Roadshow's on. Quick, what we got under the sofa? Go up under your bed. See what's under your bed. Go on, girl. We're going. And there was this mum and this daughter, right? They had loads of stuff. Let me talk you through some of it. One of them was... Well, there was a ceramic E.T., which I was looking for. I stood there and waited for the ceramic E.T. to be looked at. And then I got really close to it. And the ceramic E.T., basically the head had fallen off and they glued it back on. And the guy lifted it up. And there was a hole in the bottom. It was a money box, but with even the plastic thing to keep the money in was missing. And he went, 50 pence. All right. And then she had a mirror. It was a mirror, but it had like a picture of like Big Ben etched on it, right? But the best one was the same woman. She had this really filthy, you know the folders that you get, like that you put Panini stickers in, right? She had a folder, it was Pokemon folder, right? But it was filthy, and my sister said, "Oh, I wonder what she's got inside that Pokemon folder, because she's keeping it back until last." And the folder was filthy, right? And he opened it up, and she had in there an incomplete collection of Pokemon cards. It was incomplete. In a really filthy Pokemon folder. I mean, filthy, right? It was an incomplete collection of Pokemon cards. I couldn't believe it. But the best one, we went back to the collector. Honestly, if you ever go and see Antiques Roadshow being filmed, I mean, it's brilliant. So brilliant. And we took my niece and nephew, who are 13 and 10. They were bored out of their brains. Beautiful. But the best one was this woman, and she had 8 copies of the Beano, right? And we went, ooh, these could be like original, old. And I got there just to hear the bloke going, well, yes, if you look, it says here they're only 5 years old. 8 copies of 5-year-old Beanos. And she went, is it worth? As an old lady, are they worth anything? He went, well, best to go on eBay. Best to go on eBay and look, he said. The Antiques Roadshow expert said, you're best to go on eBay and look. And I'm thinking, I'd give her £2 for them. And I nearly went up to her, so I'll give you £2 for them, because my boys will love them. £2 for... But, oh, man, what was she thinking? There were 8 copies of the Beano. They were 5 years old. Flipping heck. 0344 499 1000. Good evening, Toby.
Evening, how are you?
I'm all right, Toby. What you got for us?
I saw an ET the other day for sale. I got quite excited in a charity shop. Yeah, I thought. I remember when ET was out. I got really hankered after this ET figurine. There was one that it was like a model of the spaceship, and you pressed a button and an ET shot out.
Oh wow!
Totally wrong scale. I always wanted that. I always saw it in I think I remember seeing it in a gambler's toy shop.
But you were presented with the opportunity to buy it in this charity shop.
No, that's what I wanted it to be. Turned out to be like a Studio Tours one, like some 2010. It's like your Beanos.
Oh, for crying out loud!
I saw it peering across some charity shop through the tat.
I'm going on eBay.
Disappointed.
I'm going on eBay for you, my friend. So how would you describe it on eBay?
Oh, I found it. Have found it. It's like it was a little. It was about the size of a tennis ball. You know the spaceship, and then you press the button, and an ET kind of a ramp opened, and a little ET on wheels shot out. Imagine the glory.
Oh, here it is. ET pop-up spaceship. Well, there's an original one here, still sealed. Flipping heck. For £12.95. Gosh, that really has. Someone has kept that sealed, thinking that'll be worth something. That'll be worth something in about 40 years' time. Nah, it's probably worth less than you paid for it, suckers. Wowzers.
Well, but I told you start the Panini albums.
Yeah.
I discovered I had about 10 massively incomplete Panini albums as a kid.
Yeah.
But now, with my own children, I find you can complete them because you can just fill out a form on the Panini website.
What?
Mr. Panini has put out a form, and he says, which stickers do you want? You tell him, and he sends you all the stickers.
You got to pay for them.
Complete books. Yeah, he's not. I mean, Mr. Panini is a generous man, but he's not.
But hang on, because what my kids do, they don't collect Panini stickers, but they collect Pokemon cards. And what they do is they've got a friend who's got a laminator. So the laminator. So they just
is that the friend or the machine?
They just download them and print them and then laminate them.
Oh,
but you're saying,
some of the fun's gone.
Hang on a minute, shut up! You're writing to Mr. Panini, going, please, Mr. Panini, can I have such and such? Can I have Gary Lineker and Eric Cantona?
Mr. Panini endorses it. He loves it.
But when surely the pleasure was going to your mate, son. I've got 2 Wayne Rooneys. Can I have an Emil Heskey? Oh, where did I pluck that name from?
I must be a massive fan. No, it's because it's when the box disappears from the newsagents.
Right.
When the Moana stash has disappeared to be replaced by Emil Heskey's.
Yeah.
Then you got to turn to Panini.
Right. Okay.
You've got to turn to the mothership itself.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. You're doing that, and you're happy to do that, and you're happy to encourage your children to lie and cheat. Then that's absolutely fine. Yes. Hey, listen, they want to get ahead in life, Tobes. They've got to learn the tricks.
You got to learn them. You've got to learn them early. You've got to learn them early.
Got to learn. Hey, speaking of which, it was my birthday on Saturday, and it was a really lovely day, long old day. Thank you, mate. I got to bed at 3, was woken up at half past 6 by 2 children jumping on me, which is a joy.
Of course.
And then we went and saw my eldest do some fencing. He's been doing fencing, and it was really, really lovely. Hey, here's the thing. So we're doing fencing, right? And I'm sat there, and in front of me, there's a woman, and I'm looking at this woman. I'm staring at her, thinking, you look a little bit like someone I used to go to college with, but not much. And then she turned around, she went, did I used to go to college with you? And I went, are you ever? She went, yeah. I went, flipping it, we did. And this was a woman. And first of all, I'm surprised I remembered her name, because I don't remember anybody's name from college. And I don't even know if I spoke to her at college. We were in the same year, and she was a friend of a friend, but I don't think I ever spoke to her.
Was she always fencing?
She wasn't fencing, no, but her daughter was fencing. And I've not seen her 23 years. And it was lovely. And we chatted a little bit, and we, caught up in the last 23 years and all that. So we did that. But there is a point to this, Toby. Don't worry, it's about cheating. So then we went to play mini golf, right? Because my boys love mini golf, and I thought it'd be a nice.
Did it ever come?
Sorry?
Did it ever come? Like
no, ever did. I thought you were tying in with something else I've spoken about. No, ever didn't come.
Jeez.
No, ever didn't come. So we went and played mini golf, right? And we signed us up for 36 holes, right? We were playing mini golf for 4 hours, man. You don't know what hell is like when you're playing it for 4 hours, and the boys were cheating. I've forgotten that I get grumpy with them for cheating. They get grumpy when I point out they're cheating. And here's the thing. I went to add up all the scores on the scorecard, right? And someone had written in, the second round, hole 7, I'd taken 100 shots. And I went, well, I'm not putting this on the score. They said, no, you have to. It's on the scorecard. I said, I didn't take 100 shots. You have to add it on. It's on the scorecard. So I came
just 80, wasn't it?
I came last because there was 100 added onto the scorecard. So that's cheating. That's kids cheating, Toby.
Well, the thing is, they should have just gone for it. Should have just gone for 15. You might not have quibbled it.
Here's another thing, right? It was really nice. In the first 18 holes, there weren't that many people there. The second 18, there were a lot of people there, a lot of queuing. But it was nice. Got chatting to some people. But the first holes, right? So we got on to about hole 10, and there were 3 young men. Let's say young. They were about 23, 24, right?
Very young.
Very young. And first of all, right, it's no smoking on there, right? It's no smoking, right? But
did you have to citizen's arrest?
I didn't do a citizen's arrest, but they weren't just smoking; they were smoking a joint.
Well,
right, and I don't mind. I don't mind people smoking. I don't mind people smoking joints. I do mind people smoking joints on a mini golf course right next to my kids, right? And I said something to my wife, and she said, "Well, should we go and tell someone?" I said, "We can't tell anyone." Then I was going to tweet the golf course because they might have given us free things, but they didn't have Twitter. So in the end, I said to these men as they walked past me, I said, guys, come on, man. You can't smoke a J in front of the kids. What are you doing? They went, oh, no, it's not a J. It's a J. They said, it's not. They said, it's a roll-up. I said, dude, honestly, don't try and get... Come on. It's not a roll-up.
Dude and J. They must have thought you were very cool.
I was very cool. I said, that's not a roll-up. You're smoking a J. That's not on, mate. Seriously. And then they stabbed me to death.
Well, that is what will happen if you approach someone with a J.
Yeah.
That is what will happen. And I phoned to say,
yes.
Before I forget,
yes, you met Eva.
Cutting off your nose to see. I'm Eva. Not watching things that you clearly like. A so up your street is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was discussing this the other day. I was looking at. There was a book on my shelf. Oh, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, a book I bought ages ago, knowing that looks exactly the kind of thing I like.
Yeah.
And then everyone liked it, and I'm not going to read it. Just not going to bother.
Why are you not going to read it?
That kind of thing. I just don't want to read it. Things that look like I will really like them.
Yeah.
I
think someone bought me that book, but I saw lots of people reading it on the tube, so I thought I'm not going to read it. Yeah.
That's precisely why. If something's very popular.
Yeah.
I'm afraid my tastes are more eclectic.
Aren't we weird? Because I'd love to watch this Paul McCartney thing. If someone could do me an edit of the Paul McCartney thing, sans Corden, I will pay top dollar for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's doable, isn't it? I don't know how much you did. I mean, maybe it's all singles. It'll be fine.
Yeah, if it's all singles. Catherine is typing on the screen that you and I are snobs.
I mean, she's right.
Yeah, she's absolutely right. But I mean, look at the state of her. Oh dear, cheeky cow.
She wants to try being a bit more snobby.
She does. That's it. She's too approachable. She's too all-encompassing.
You don't want to be down to earth.
No, you don't want to be down to earth. Salt of the earth is how I would describe Catherine. Very salty. Very, very salty.
But yeah, so yeah, I found, and I also found that I used to very much enjoy listening to Frank Skinner's podcast.
Oh yeah.
From the Saturday Show. I read his autobiography over Christmas, from which I think ended in 2004.
Yeah.
And I can no longer listen to it.
Oh, go on. Why? Because you don't like him from that book.
Yeah.
Is it? Right. I can get you back into him. Go and read the book where he goes back on tour after not going on tour for years.
Oh yes, I will do.
Read that because I had a very similar. I was never a massive Frank Skinner fan anyway, but I had a very his first autobiography is such an unpleasant book. He's such an he's like a devout Roman Catholic now.
Yes. Was he not at the time?
He was lapsed.
I assume that was all.
He was lapsed.
Oh, right.
But it's all. I mean, because I used to know someone. I used to work with someone who gets mentioned in that book, and he tells a very, very salty tale about her.
Well, I think lost them are.
There's a really unpleasant story about a sexual escapade they indulged in.
Well, I mean, that doesn't narrow down.
No, I know it doesn't. I know that she was thoroughly ashamed and embarrassed by it, and I thought that was mean. But then he does a book about doing stand-up after not doing stand-up for years, and that's quite inspirational.
Oh, well, I'll go back. Maybe that'll cleanse it. Maybe that'll be
Go and cleanse your skinner palate, Toby. Thank you for that. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000. Good evening, Jack.
Evening, Ian. I've got a question for you.
Okay, well, I may have an answer for you.
It's a would you rather.
Okay.
So I'll give you like scenario A, scenario B.
I'm just going to sup on some water from I've got a new, very trendy, you know these water bottles that everybody has?
Mm.
I've got one.
Has it got a bit in the middle for some fruit?
You could put fruit in there. I could put some like lemons and limes in there, and
yeah.
But here's the thing, right? Catherine bought it for me, and I'm really perplexed as to why. She says it's to protect the planet from all the plastic, but this is this is made of plastic, and this is thick plastic, right? So that when I buy the water in a bottle from the shop, that is thin plastic. This is thick plastic.
Yeah, but when you buy the water from the shop, you buy like 10 bottles versus that one. So I know she normally buys you rubbish gifts, but that one's probably quite a good one.
And here's the thing, right? There's lots of signs. I blame David Attenborough. David Attenborough bums Mother Earth, right?
Yeah, he does.
There's a poster. He really does. There's a poster as I drive in, right, from the World Wildlife Fund, or as I call them, the World Wildlife Bums.
Mm.
There is more plastic in the sea than fish.
Really?
Well, that's what they say. But what does that mean? What does that mean? That's like saying there is more paper on this desk than air. You can't. That's apples and oranges. They're too incomparable. There's more plastic in the sea than fish. What? Like there's more. Right. First of all, okay. First question: how many fish are there in the sea? Do they know? No. And when you say there are more plastic, there are more plastic. That doesn't even make sense. So is it microbeads? Well, a microbead is tiny. So, yeah, I can imagine that, but it's still tiny. Are you saying that the plastic takes up more space than the fish? I don't believe that. Where's your evidence? I just don't trust these guys, Jack.
No, I get you. I mean, it did shock me when you said that, so that's what it's supposed to do, isn't it? It did shock me.
But it doesn't mean anything.
No. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you've got nothing more to say on this point. So what have you called? Oh, you've called in for a who, what, why, when, and the how. No.
Yeah, it's a would you rather.
Yeah.
So scenario A.
Yeah.
You get the Wright Stuff gig.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And it's really successful, and you get to still do your radio work, but you get to do the Wright Stuff gig. It's called the Lee Stuff, and it's a brilliant show.
Oh, nice one. Thank you.
But you have to remain in your current living quarters for the next.
Jack, you've been listening and paying attention. This is great.
For the next 2 years, at least.
Can I just say, Jack, are you listening to this, Catherine? This is incredible. This is incredible, man. They should get you working on the next series of Big Brother or I'm a Celebrity. You're twisted. Go on, I like it. Yes.
I know. Anyway, so option A.
Yeah.
You get the Right Stuff gig, but you've got to live in your current living situation for the next 2 years at least.
Wow, yeah. Okay, go on. This is
or option B.
Yeah.
You can move to the new house that you're, in the process of getting.
Yes.
But obviously you don't get the Right Stuff gig, and you have to listen to a Nickelback song in the morning and a Nickelback song before you go to bed.
Nickelback song in the morning, Nickelback song before bed, Nickelback song in the morning, gonna shoot me in the head. I would take the first option. How can you? I would carry on living in the cell I'm living in. Yeah, well, we'd listen to a Nickelback song in the morning and in the evening. What kind of pervert are you?
I know that's why I thought it would be a tough one. But really, 2 years in that place. No fridge.
No fridge. No fridge. No, I'm playing silly buggers. Of course I will. Of course I would move to the new place, Jack. And you.
So you'll take the new place, but in the morning you'll wake up to a Nickelback song, and before you go to bed, the last thing you'll hear is Nickelback.
For 2 years or forever?
Indefinitely.
This guy is sick. Can we put a warning by Jack's name on here? Only let him on if we want to speak to some kind of deviant with a very, very twisted mind. Catherine's written something very...
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Thank you, Jack. And by the way, this is a new feature. So far, Jack is this week's Golden Call. We should tell you that. Jack?
Oh, yeah, thank you. I'll take that.
Well, you won't take it yet, because we've got the rest of the week to remind me of this, Catherine, because I'm just thinking of it, and this is good. And see if we can get a jingle made up. By the way, if you want to make a jingle at home for Golden Call, you can. So far, Jack, you're this week's Golden Call. What that means is, if no one beats your call, on Friday, we get you back on, we play highlights from your call, and we talk about your call, the thought that went into it, how you came up with the ideas, what it felt like making it, and what it felt like for the few days after you made the call and you became famous on the back of it. So
like an interview.
It'll be an interview about this call, Jack. Yes.
Okay, that's brilliant. I'm glad to be making history.
Okay, you're losing it a bit at the end there. But Jack, keep listening throughout the week. If anyone thinks they can beat Jack's Golden Call, 0344. This is great. This is a feature. So can we record that call and can you edit clips out of it, please, for a highlights package? I made myself laugh for highlights package of one call. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. This is the late night alternative on Talk Radio.
Uncut after-hours conversation for the up all-night generation.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you... So I slept terribly last night. It was hot, and I really enjoyed the weekend. I had a great day on Saturday with my kids, mini golf. I mean, shattered. Fell asleep in front of the telly. I've not fallen asleep in front of the telly for ages. I was lying on the sofa and we watched Early Man. Yeah, that's pretty much what I expected it to be. I don't really like Aardman films, although I did like the Shaun the Sheep movie. I thought that was funny. But I never got Wallace and Gromit and any of that stuff. An Early Man, spoiler alert, it's a one-joke film about people playing football in caveman times. That's it. So I didn't like that. And then we put Ferdinand on. And I saw the start of Ferdinand when he's a kid. And then suddenly Ferdinand was like really big and he was stood on the top of a cliff and the credits started rolling. And I went, what? And I'd slept literally on my back. I had one child sat on my chest. I had one child sat on my feet. They were playing 3DS. They didn't watch it. And I fell asleep during it was great. It was great. Oh, we had a Chinese before Early Man. We had a Chinese delivered. That was great. Perfect birthday. And then Sunday, great day with my sister and her husband and my niece and nephew. Really lovely day. But last night couldn't sleep. You know, it's emotional and stuff. You spend time with the family, then you have to go back and sleep in a cell on your own. And it was emotional. And I couldn't sleep and it was hot and I was getting a headache and I knew I had to be up early to go and do loose swimming. And there was a reason I was telling you this. Why was I telling you this? What was the reason? God, this is where my head is at the moment. I can't remember nothing. Why was I telling you that? There was a reason for that. Oh, yeah, that was it. I've written it down. So I woke up about 5:30 in the morning because there was like loud voices outside. And I looked out the window, right? Like third floor. And I could see my car. And I could see 5 lads sat on my car having a party. They were sat on my car. Drinking, smoking, carrying on. Sat on my car. 5:30 in the morning. And I did shout out of the window, shut the up! But they didn't hear it. And I went for a wee and I went back. They sat on my car, having a party on my car at 5:30 in the morning. Broken Britain. This is Brexit, guys. Good evening, Dion.
All right, Ian. I'm a little bit more together than what I was Friday.
Hey, come on now. Hey,
I
listen.
you're on loose women.
Huh?
I didn't know you were on loose women.
I go on Loose Women from time to time to do their little holiday competition giveaways. You'd have killed those lads, wouldn't you, if you'd have had to?
I would have told them to sod off.
Would you have killed one as a warning to the others?
Please don't mention me like I'm some killer.
Well, you are a killer.
I mean, I'll tell you the worst killer. I got drunk once with Carol McGiffin.
Flippin' heck.
All right, you're on about loose women.
Here we go.
All right. Yeah.
I go on there from time to time and do their holiday giveaway, and it's a thrill. Genuinely, I love it.
I don't have a smart TV now. You was talking yesterday. I just watch TV, what I want.
Yeah, well, it's the best way.
I was going to say,
yes.
the BBC who are trying to compete with you, they're talking about vegans.
Are they?
So I phoned up.
What?
And they won't let me on because I might be rude about vegans.
Oh, what, on BBC London?
Yeah.
Who's on now? Is it Duncan?
Yeah, but Mel, I always wind Mel up now and again.
Hang on, let's, BBC...
Come on, please don't.
What?
You can phone Mel up if you want.
All right, I'm going to phone up, but you've got to do the talking, yeah?
Yeah, go on.
What you've got to do is you've got to do, like a different voice, so they don't think it's you, and a different name.
Chris, and I'm a Scouser.
Well, go on, can you do a Scouse accent?
Said, yeah, right, you want to come down here? No, do a Brummie. Yeah, right.
You absolute pudding. Is
that good enough?
Yeah, all right, what's the phone number?
I don't know, they changed it.
Oh, they haven't. I'm trying to find it on their website.
I don't know.
Duncan Barks doesn't like me, right? So don't...
Why is that?
Because he's a pudding. I don't know. I've got absolutely no idea, but he don't like me.
I think he's a bit patronising anyway.
Yeah, BBC Radio... It's a Radio London phone.
I only picked up on your lot last week. I was just scanning through something, and they said it had all changed. And you were in the 80s. Who was a Greek bloke who used to...
Greeky Lion?
I don't know.
He used to phone in and do really crap reggae. I think he died, Greeky Lion, actually.
No, when Talk Radio first started.
Oh, Caesar the Geezer.
That's it, Caesar, yeah.
We've had Caesar on this radio show.
Oh, brilliant. I didn't know he was still alive.
No, I don't know if he was when we spoke to him, but, yeah, no, we had, right, hang on a minute, I'm trying to find the phone number. They don't make it easy. It's the problem
I'll give you it off my other phone, I can pick it up.
Oh, I've got to sign, hang on a minute, I've got to sign into the flipping iPlayer. Dear BBC, why don't you stick it up your jack seat?
It's 0800.
Right, hang on, 0800. Now, I like Duncan, so let's see how far we get. Go on.
Go on, then.
0800.
Yeah, you got the number, haven't you?
I've got 0800, that's it, that's all you gave me.
Oh, right, I thought you had it.
No.
Wow. I've got to go do my mobile now. I'll go through my phone list.
By the way, be prepared for a load of abusive tweets and emails.
That's all right, mate.
No, I'm talking about me.
Right, it's 0800.
Yes?
731.
Yeah.
2000.
2000. All right, and you've got to do the talking, all right?
And that'll be Mel.
Right. We'll do you. What's your name?
I'll be Chris in Birmingham.
Okay, and do the accent.
Yeah, right, it's Chris. I'm in Birmingham. I'm in Solihull.
Okay, here we go. Right, you're on your own.
Thanks for calling BBC Radio London. Just so you know, the BBC's computers will keep your name and phone numbers for 6 months. Please search BBC Privacy online for more details.
Flippin' heck.
Radio London.
Yeah, hello, it's Chris in Solihull, in Birmingham.
Chris in Solihull?
In Birmingham, yeah. I'd like... Yeah, can we talk about vegans? Because we don't have vegans in Birmingham.
What? Are you in Birmingham now?
I'm in Birmingham now, yeah.
Oh, it sounds like Langley.
No, it's not. We're in Birmingham.
No, is it not? Oh, is it Birmingham? Okay. All right, Chris.
How the Arsenal.
See you later.
They were wind up, mate, all right?
Mate, he wasn't...
Yeah. You've been stunned.
Sorry? Is that what you say when you've taken out someone? Sorry, Dion, we tried, mate. We couldn't get you onto BBC London.
I was on there.
What, then? Just then?
I was just on him.
No, for goodness sake. No, you just spoke to... That was the producer.
No, I spoke to Mel, I said.
Right, OK. Well, I'm confused. I think we're all confused. Dion, thank you for that, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Tatty, bye. I tell you, Catherine, there's a tip there. They've got a screening process, and I'm beginning to think maybe we need to introduce a screening process. I'm beginning to think. Those guys at the BBC do it proper. I like Duncan. I hope he doesn't take that as a personal snub. I hope he takes it in the spirit in which it's intended. Evening, Paul!
Yo, you okay?
I'm all right, Paul. What you got for us tonight?
Good, man. I just wanted to wish you a Penboy's Happiness for Saturday just gone.
Oh, thank you. What did you want to wish me a what? A Penboy's Harris?
Penboy's Happiness.
Penboy's Hatless?
Happiness.
Penboy Happiness. What's that?
That's the one. Happy birthday.
Oh, I thought maybe it was like some ancient spell. I thought maybe you were putting a hex on me. God, imagine if someone phoned up and put a hex on me.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good, man. So, yeah, just wish you Penboy's Happiness and say, Clongy Farkiade.
Right, what's he saying now? He's saying something rude. You're definitely saying something rude, Paul.
I swear to God I'm not. Just congratulations.
All right, thank you very much, mate. Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
Bye-bye. That's it. I'm going to die in a car crash tonight because he's hexed me. He's put a gypsy's curse on me. He has. Something's happened there. I feel a bit funny. Oh, my breathing's gone a bit funny. Oh, it's that Jeremy Vine getting the right stuff all over again. Good evening, Jerry.
Hello.
Hello, Jerry. What you got for us?
It's got a jingle. A golden call.
Okay.
Golden call.
Oh.
Honey and me. That's it.
Right, that was rubbish, mate. That's it. You mumbling golden call on Ian Lee is rubbish.
Hey, tell you what. How has that man got a gig in America on the chat show? That Corden. How's he got a gig on the chat show in America?
I don't know. I find his career amazing.
I don't get him. I'm like you. I thought I was the only one who didn't get him. I'm glad you don't get him. How's he done it? How's he got?
I have to confess, there is a significant part of me that is jealous. Of course, there's jealousy, and I'm not too big to not admit that. I'm jealous, but also I'm genuinely scratching my head because I just don't get it.
Hey, he's just got. I don't know. Must be people he knows. It's not being nice, but he's in the funny suit, chaps. He's not. I don't know. They just don't get it. That's about smells. I once went to hospital in a nurse's car, brand new car.
Yeah.
And I wanted a wee. And I got desperate. Yeah. And he used a McDonald's paper cup.
Oh.
And he got me at the top and the paper cup collapsed.
A paper cup. The thing is, we wee a lot more than we think. A paper cup ain't going to do it.
No, realise then. The lid, like, the lip. Not the lid.
Well, the trick to do then is if you pee into a paper cup and it's filling up, and I hate to say it, the only way to get out of that is you've got to drink it and then finish your wee. But then it's like it goes on for eternity because it just goes straight through. So you're constantly drinking your own wee and peeing.
When deliver receipts.
Jerry, why are you phoning up to tell me about you peeing all over seats?
Pardon?
Is that what you're saying? You said it went all over the seat.
The seating stumped the car out for months. Same proper smelly wee.
Right, okay, I'm going to cut you off now. I'm not quite sure why he was talking to us about peeing everywhere. Was that conversation we'd had earlier on in the event? I don't know. Oh, stinks that stick. Okay, well, that's not... Milk is the worst. Milk is the worst, and I'm saying milk because that's the kind of guy I am. Thank you, Jerry. 03444991000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. We have another hour of this before Paul Ross comes in at 1 o'clock and goes through the night. You can give us a call about absolutely anything. We'll look at some of the things. Let's just take a punt. Let's take a punt. Hang on. Yes, line one.
Oh, hi, Ian. Just to let you know, I was going to call in, but I changed my mind, so...
Thanks very much. It's a thing, because of... And this is the thing. I think we're still going to do it one night this week. We'll do a whole show of withheld numbers. But because of one, let's be honest, two individuals, we've got to be so careful about withheld numbers now, because there are two people who are absolutely, insane, and not in the fun way, who only phone up from a withheld number, and it's kind of ruins. Oh, and I'll read the note. I posted it on Twitter, then I took it down because I felt bad because I did at her. But I got sent. You remember there was a woman last week who accused me of being rude to her at the Yorkshire Food Festival last summer. She saw me on James Martin's cookery show and went, well, you talk about people being nice to you, but you were so rude to me at the Yorkshire Dales Food Festival last year with James. I'd never met James before I did this TV show a month ago. Certainly never been to the Yorkshire Dales Food Festival. I've never been there. So the odds of me being the man that was rude to this woman, and it turned into this big Twitter spat, where I was going, I wasn't there, apologise, Jackie, apologise, it wasn't me. Well, I think it might have been you. Anyway, she sent me a letter, sent me a card, right? It is the most nuts thing I have ever read in my life. We'll read it after this. This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
It was written that I would love you from the moment I opened my eyes, and the morning when I first saw you gave me life under calico skies. I will hold you for as long as you like. I'll hold you for the rest of my life. Always looking for ways to love you, never failing to fight at your side, while the angels of love protect us from the innermost secrets we hide. I'll hold you for as long as you like. I'll hold you for the rest of my life. Long live all of us crazy soldiers who were born under calico skies. May we never be called to handle all the weapons of war we despise. I'll hold you for as long as you like. I'll hold you for the rest of my life. I'll hold you for as long as you like. I'll love you for the rest of my life.
That's all right, isn't it? I like that. McCartney in the 90s. There's some stinkers, but there's some absolute gems, and he's just getting that the first rasp of Old Man McCartney voice, and it's a cracking song. Hello to Ashley. I'm doing a shout out like a professional broadcaster. Ashley, who is just texted us. First time listening to the show, and won't be the last. What a group of callers you guys get. Yeah, it is. Thank you, Ashley. I'm glad you found us. This show is on Monday to Friday, 10 o'clock at night, until 1 in the morning. Now, where did I put the card? Got sent 2 cards. Here we go. Got sent 2 cards. Right. One's a birthday card. One's a birthday card from a nutjob who never, ever signs their name and writes in, like, the lunatic writing. Here we go. Happy birthday, Iain Lee. You are 45 years now. The last few days ago or so, after you have any questions or concerns, please visit the setting. Is this supposed to be read across like happy birthday, Iain Lee? The last few days ago. Right, I'm going to read this as it's written. Right. I'll show you on YouTube. This is the quality of the writing. Okay, this is the first one. Thank you. I'll have boost, please. Thank you. Happy birthday, Iain Lee. You are 45 years now. The last few days ago or so, after you have any questions or concerns, please visit the setting to determine how much is the greatest television show is lost. I made it to you the last time. Do you remember? Do you have any questions? The same people always win. Paul Ross hopes so too. Take care. That's nuts, yeah? So that's nuts. That's the nice one. So a woman last week accused me of being at Yorkshire Dale Food Festival and being rude to her. I wasn't there. Never been, wasn't there. She sent me a card. And the first couple of lines I thought, oh, she didn't apologise for saying that I was mean and nasty. First of all, she accused me of lying and then just wouldn't apologise. Iain, first, let me start by saying I apologise for accusing you of being rude to me at the Yorkshire Dales Food Festival. I was clearly mistaken and I am sorry. Oh. What you went on to do on Saturday was abhorrent, to say the least. When I sent you that message on Twitter, I waited an hour. Now listen to this bit. This bit's important because it links up with something she says in a minute. When I sent you that message, I waited an hour for your response. Nothing came, and I had to go out. On returning late afternoon, I checked for a response and was being bombarded with abuse over 150 messages. It took some time to get to one of your responses, but had noticed you retweeting and liking some of the nasty comments. This is why you are not getting an apology on Twitter. And here's the thing that links up. It seems if you don't get an immediate response, you turn nasty. Never heard of patience is a virtue? Bearing in mind, she said earlier on, I waited an hour for your response, nothing came, I had to go out. It seems if you don't get an immediate response, you turn nasty. And here's the thing, anybody that was engaged in that conversation will know I did not say one nasty thing to this crackpot of a human being. Didn't say one nasty thing, apart from that crackpot comment. I am a kind and fair person and would have apologised as soon as I saw your message and followed it up with a card. You said on James Martin's show that you didn't like people that troll you and call you names, etc., but you were happy to encourage others to do it to me. I didn't encourage them. I just retweeted what this woman said in a public forum. That's all. A lot of people said you are a nice guy. Not now the impression I have or will ever have of you. You know why she's upset? It's because I went to James Martin's house and she's jealous. That's what it is. Because her whole Twitter feed is obsessed with James Martin. I went to James Martin's house. I sat in his playroom. I'm also pretty sure that by now you know exactly who it was at that festival that was rude to me and think it's funny. I haven't got a flipping clue. I do think it's funny. Yes, I think it's funny. But I don't know who it was. I think you deserved it, you old bag. Well, it wasn't. It was rude and offensive, and you can tell him I think he is a jerk. I don't know who it is. You tell him. And here comes the most despicable. This bit is genuinely despicable, and it's the second person I've had today lay this trip on me. Right? And I refuse to allow this trip to be laid on me. Man, it's too heavy. I hope you're pleased with yourself for your actions. It was lucky for me that I had someone with me, or you may have been explaining your actions to the police, because I did feel low enough to consider suicide, and that would have been down to you and your supporter. Wow. Not down to the fact that you libelled me and accused me of being rude to you at an event I wasn't at. And I took it in quite good spirits. I could have gone nuts, but I took it in quite good spirits, and I very gently a few times. It got a little bit less gentle as it went on, but the first few things, very gently, said, I wasn't there. You accused me of lying. So wasn't there. You accused me of lying. Paul Ross waded in and said he wasn't there. You're really unpleasant. I did tweet her this, and then I deleted the tweet because I felt bad atting her. But what an arsehole. I mean, really, what a mean. And I'm not giving away who it is. His name's Jackie, but that doesn't give away. What a mean, crazy thing to do. It's just, I think it's pretty outrageous. Outrageous. And I had someone else today lay a suicide trip on me, and it's just it's really, particularly as this, the stuff we talk about, and I've talked about being suicidal, and the fact that this is a very open place where people can come and share mental health stuff and all of that. Anyone that says, that kind of throws that in my direction, I lose a lot of respect for, man. And I mentioned, the headline of the story with me and that former Talk Sport presenter, whose name I'm not going to mention on the radio anymore. The headline was, that guy drove me to contemplate suicide. It wasn't, and I clarified that. It was his actions came at a period of my life when I was particularly low and struggling with mental health and with trying to, breathe. And I felt suicidal. But it wasn't because of what he had been doing to me. That was, there was a divorce, there was money worries, there was all these kind of things. I would never say, and I could clarify that, would never say that one person's actions made me contemplate suicide. It's just a really mean thing to do. It's a really mean thing to do. And while we're here, I wrote a thing today on Twitter this evening about how Twitter for me is like drugs. Like sending out a tweet is for me like it's like having a big fat juicy line of cocaine. It's moreish and it's addictive, and I like the kind of instant hit that it gives me. But then seconds later, I feel ashamed and I feel dirty and I feel. I just feel, it takes me to a place I don't want to go. And for me, sending a tweet is the same thing. And this is just for me. I'm not saying this is for everyone. We'll never begin to suggest for you. But for me, that's what it's like, And so to compensate the shame and low self-esteem I feel, I take another line of cocaine or I'd send another tweet. And so I'm really, and I've been talking about this for 3 flipping years, but I need to work out what I'm going to do, Twitter. I've had people in the past email me. Am I muted on Twitter? Am I muted because you don't respond? Am I muted? I feel like am I muted? And I've made a point of I never answer that question. I never answer that question because it's an unfair question to ask. If you're blocked, you're blocked, and you're blocked because it says you've been blocked by. But if you're muted, all that really means is I'm quite happy for you to, be part of it, but I'm not going to engage with you. And so for someone to send an email saying, have I been muted? The fact that you're asking that question shows that you've probably been a little bit too needy on Twitter. So I never answer that question. And I think some people see me interacting with others on Twitter, but not interacting with them, and take it as a real personal, but I thought we were friends. I thought, there was a mad tweet yesterday or over the weekend from this woman. Oh, God. Oh, what was it? And not someone who I'd seen pop up in my timeline before. It was something like, if I met Iain Lee, I think we'd be really good friends. Did you see that, Catherine? I'm not a fan. I'm a potential friend. He just needs to meet me and we'd become really good friends. It reminds me, when I went to a monkeys convention 4 years ago, right? But fame is in the way she said it. I went to a monkeys convention, and I sort of, at these monkeys events, because I've been on telly over here and interviewed the monkeys, and I hadn't quite started the record label yet, but some people they know that I've interviewed Mike and Mickey, and so they kind of thought at the time maybe I had an in with them. I got treated a little bit like a celebrity there, but you don't need to do much to be treated like a celebrity. And I got talking to this guy. There are only two, as far as I remember, there's about 2,000 people there. I only saw two black faces. The Monkees are a very white group. It's a very white, predominantly female fan base. But I got speaking to this one guy, and he's really interesting guy. He'd served in Iraq, right? And I thought, okay, this is strange. Black guy into the Monkees. Also a war veteran, young guy, younger than me, a war veteran into the Monkees. And I got talking to him, and he told me about, it started to turn here, right? He told me how when Davy Jones died, it destroyed him and he was in pieces. And I was upset when Davy died. And I think he left the army because Davy Jones had died. I was thinking, okay, right, this is obviously tapping into something. And then he said, and then he got on, he said, I really need your help. You've interviewed Mike Nesmith, haven't you? I said, yeah. What's he like? I said, it was a phone interview. I don't know. He seemed like a nice enough guy. He said, right. I need you to introduce me to him. Not like in a quick fan, get an autograph way. I know that me and Mike operate on the same level. And if I could just meet him, I understand his songs better than anyone, right? If I could just meet him and chat to him for just like 2 hours, right? I know that we could be friends. It was at that point I started edging. We were sat at the bar. I remember we were sat at the bar and I started edging away from the bar going, well, you know, man, I wish you the best of luck. And he kind of was like, it was a real, you've got to introduce me to him. I said, well, you know, I don't really know him. I've got to go because I was with, and this tweet from this woman at the weekend is that same kind of vibe. If Iain could just meet me, we'd be friends, but fame gets in the way. That was the line. You're right, Catherine. Thank you. And just having a few people, am I muted? You're ignoring me, and that's a heavy trip to allow me. So I've just got to think, maybe, do I interact with nobody? Do I interact with some people? I don't know. Anyway, on that bombshell, 0344 499 1000. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
There we go.
There we go. That one done. That second one may have gone out. I do apologise. We got the second one as well. Just in case, always got to be careful. We were coming back from the break a little bit quicker than I expected. We were watching a live stream of a very potty-mouthed comedian, Lemmy, who just swore. I don't think it got broadcast. If it did get broadcast, of course, we're really, really sorry. Even though it's a late-night show, the hardcore bad language we certainly don't appreciate. We don't approve of. You would have heard it on YouTube. Apologies to the YouTubers. And apologies to anyone at home who may have heard it. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. How is Twitter going for you, Catherine? You do all right, don't you?
Yeah, I largely escape pretty unscathed.
When was the last time you had a dick pic?
Well, my DMs are closed, so they have to do it in public.
Right.
So it's always an anonymous person, you know, with a silly, clearly not them picture.
If only there was some way to the police, maybe Interpol, had a file of dicks, and you could dick
yes, it was that one.
Facial recognition.
I think probably the last
just
time.
Look through the book. Yeah. Is it this one? No. Do you recognise any of these peni? No.
It
was this one.
I don't think they're ever their own peni that I get shown anyway, because they wouldn't want to get those out in public.
No.
I think they generally select
but people are generally,
a stunt penis.
People are generally nice to you on Twitter. There's a few arch things that we got. Often we get the mean ones together, or I get my own, but then we'll get the mean ones together.
I also there's some people who, when they can't have a go at you anymore because you blocked them or something, they'll have a go at me. Yeah. And it's usually catty rather than nasty.
Yeah. A lot of blocking recently, a lot of muting.
Yeah.
A lot of muting.
I do love a mute because they don't know that they're banging on by themselves, you know.
Yeah. And that's I'm saying categorically now, if anyone ever asks me, have I been muted, I'm not going to answer that question because if I say no to someone, then someone else asks me that question. I ignore it. They'll think they are. Also, if I say yes, you have been muted. Well, where does that leave us? That doesn't leave us anywhere that I want to be. It's my decision who I allow to slip into my timeline.
Yeah, and if you wanted to make it that clear, you would have blocked them. So
Yeah.
here's here's one of my absolutes, and I don't have many rules on Twitter.
Yeah.
But if people try to message me to get around you, I'm going to block them.
Really?
Yeah. I tend to respond with, I'm not his mum.
Yeah.
And then if they persist, I block them.
We got the test results back,
definitely not his
and
mum.
I'm gutted to say she is not my mum.
No. I've been raising him all these years.
What I'll say is, guys, just don't try so hard. You know, we're not friends. We're not friends, and it's unlikely that we're going to be. Okay, so I appreciate.
Just enjoy the to and fro. There doesn't need to be marriage.
Here we go. We wonder if we're too. I wonder.
Yeah.
Kath and I wonder. This show wonders if we are too. What was the word you used?
Accessible.
Too accessible.
Yeah.
In that, it's there are 15 hours a week when you know my telephone number. For 15 hours a week, you have my direct telephone number, which is pretty rare. And you can come on and you can ask me anything, you know. You can ask me anything. I thought that guy, the golden call so far, Jack, I thought it was a great question, you know, and perfect. He's been listening and he knows a lot about what's going on, and he put it into a very funny question. But then I do go on Twitter and stuff, and I do on Facebook, not so much, and I don't know. It's that weird thing of having to promote the show and. Anyway.
But there is a perception that, you know, because it's an intimate thing to be on the radio and we're talking to you on your own, generally, people who are listening by themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and we spend a lot of time together, I guess, through the magic of radio. People start to feel like we do know each other.
Here we go. Jeff's done a golden call jingle. Here we go. Let's have a little listen to this. That is disgusting.
Oh, Jeff.
That is disgusting.
And you a father.
Unbelievable. Not by doing that. I don't know what's happened to the YouTube feed, I'm afraid. What that generally means is Matthew's internet has crashed. A man who tried magnet. What are magnets? I know what magnets are.
What is magnet?
What is magnet? But what is magnet? What is magnet? It's a good question, isn't it? What is magnet?
I don't think it starts out as just normal metal and then it gets given powers. I think it's already powered.
Well, this is it. You can certainly turn something into magnet. You can charge it into magnet. But can you mine magnet? Are there the great magnet mines? And then what tools do they use? They can't use metal tools. They'd have to use wooden tools, wouldn't they? Or glass tools. What is magnet? Is there magnet mine? You couldn't go in there with a pacemaker.
No.
Or false teeth.
No, or an old-fashioned camera.
Or a cock ring.
What?
Prince Albert.
Are they made out of...
Prince Albert is slightly different, but yeah, that's metal, isn't it? It's a piercing.
I've not got...
I'll show you mine. Well, there's a question for the last 35 minutes.
What is magnet?
What is magnet? 03444991000. Anyway, a man who tried magnet fishing struck lucky when he found a safe full of jewellery and medals at the bottom of a lake. Medals? This all sounds a bit suspicious. Magnet fishing is a thing, is it? Adam Hastings, 22, pulled up the haul the first time he tried the hobby. If I Google magnet fishing, because this sounds like made-up nonsense. He thinks that the safe must have been chucked into the water by thieves. Also, there's got to be some magnet to pull up a safe. Safes is heavy.
Safes is so heavy. You want one of those magnets from the Tom and Jerry films for a safe.
Yeah. Horseshoe shape. I remember once I got a horseshoe-shaped magnet. You know,
Did little things come out the end?
No, it was rubbish. Really rubbish.
Oh. Have you ever had an anvil dropped on you?
No. I connected it to a 9-volt battery to try and make an electromagnet.
Oh, yeah?
Didn't work.
Oh.
Jobless Adam.
Size of this.
The ultimate beginner's guide to magnet fishing. Does it say point 1, this is what magnet is?
Magnet fishing UK. What is magnet fishing?
Magnet fishing is the new hobby taking the UK and US by storm. So I decided to write a beginner's guide to magnet fishing while I start out my magnet fishing adventures. I've called it the beginner's guide because that's what I am, a beginner. That whole first paragraph is unnecessary.
Yeah.
I've recently started the wonderful hobby of magnet fishing. We know you keep saying magnet fishing.
Magnet fishing.
Alongside my other wonderful hobby of metal detecting. So, as I learn all about magnet fishing and start this journey, I want to teach you my findings and research.
Jesus!
We know.
Just tell us what it is, man. What you can't catch a fish with a magnet.
The act of fishing with a very powerful magnet attached to a rope. Not trying to catch fish, though. We are trying to attract metal objects to the magnet.
Well, it's not fishing, then. It's not fishing. Fishing is... The clue is in the word fishing. Fishing. Call it magnetising.
Attracting.
Call it attracting.
Over the years, many metal items have been disposed of or dropped into many different bodies of water, like rivers, lakes or streams. We know what a body of water is, mate.
Okay.
Patronising. These metal items include historic relics, modern-day gadgets, and many more interesting metal items. So what you're saying is old stuff, new stuff, and some other stuff. Wow.
How much is it going to... Let's just cut to the nub. How much is it going to cost me to get a giant magnet?
It's a list of things you need.
Yeah.
What you will need for magnet fishing. Strong magnet, bracket, mandatory.
Yeah, well,
there's no ifs or buts about this.
How much is this gear going to cost me?
He suggests, I'm guessing it's a man, and I'm guessing it's a single man.
Well,
neodymium magnet with an eye bolt, right?
Yeah.
Takes you to the Amazon thing.
I reckon
£42.69.
Hey, that's all right. I thought I was going to say about 600 quid.
Reduced from 60 quid.
Oh.
You better be sure you're going to use this magnet, though.
Well, it's my birthday. It's my birthday week.
It looks like a great big plug.
It's my birthday week.
Yeah, there's a whole load of different magnets you can have a look at.
But then...
And they put a €1 piece next to it so you can see size.
And then do you need, like, a rod?
No, you need a big bit of rope.
Okay.
Strong rope, again, mandatory.
Jobless Adam said, I cast it about 4 or 5 times without any luck.
Gloves, mandatory. A bag or bucket, optional.
Okay. Then I felt something tugging on the end. I looked down and... No. I found another smaller magnet nearby. I found another smaller magnet nearby. Oh, so it appears they came back to get it, but the magnet they used wasn't as powerful as mine. Yes, son!
He spent the extra 20 quid.
He took up the hobby after watching a TV programme about how people had found treasure in lakes and rivers. Adam paid £17.50 for a magnet on the internet and tried his luck in Pittville Park, Cheltenham, Gloucestershire. He added, I didn't expect to find treasure the first time, though. It just shows what's out there. Next time, I might find a boat. Oh, and go out into the middle.
Oh, right, yeah.
Well, how much was that worth, all that stuff? Good for him. He looks like, remember Spider from Coronation Street? He looks a bit
I remember Spider.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. The late night alternative with Iain Lee and now with Catherine Boyle. Added Catherine Boyle. Sorry?
Don't say it like that.
No, I'm saying added Catherine Boyle.
Yeah, boom. Sprinkles.
Right.
Of me.
Why are you being a bit weird?
I'm not excited.
Just you've had a trendy haircut.
I don't know if it is trendy.
Oh, it's a bit too short, you think? I think it looks good.
Well, seems to have broken the stream.
There we go.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.
Doing a little bit of maintenance there. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Although sometimes the calls just dry up, and the calls, you know, for Julia Hartley-Brewer, that's been the last 2.5 years. For us, it's been the last 10 minutes. It's fine. It's fine. I can work with that. We'll just do some more of these really exciting stories from, yesterday's newspapers.
Prepare to get wacky.
Prepare to get wacky, guys. We're going to delve and dive into the sun.
Should we have a sideways look at life? What does that mean? Wackiness.
6 in 10... Here we go. This is you, Catherine.
Go on.
6 in 10 Brits are stuck in a musical rut, only listening to artists they already know. That describes you to a T. Yeah. Whereas I am musically versatile.
No, you don't. You're the man who says you don't need any more bands.
I know we're not supposed to talk about the adverts, but there's a website called Subbies. I'm sure that's... You've got to be careful typing that in, because you're going to end up with some kind of, people looking for dominatrix. That's a strange thing. No. I am very, very open to musical suggestions.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I listened to a new Paul McCartney album the other day.
That's still Paul McCartney?
Yeah, but it's one I'd not heard before.
Oh, okay.
So, so I listened to different stuff.
What new bands are you into?
Well, I'll say I'm looking forward to the Paul McCartney's got a new album coming out soon, so I'm looking forward to that, yeah. So, actually, I tell you what, my sister got me an album. I thought I brought it because I wanted to listen to it in the car. It is, I'm going to say it's called Doris, and what was the name of that? Who are the... Doris and Nikki? Doris and Nikki. What was the name? Doris and Nikki. Is someone... No. If someone knows the album that my sister bought me, I'll describe it, okay, and someone will know it, right? You can tweet me it, or whatever. So it's this lost sort of classic from the 60s, apparently, and it's a girl, and I think it's her 13-year-old sister or brother, and it's only been released sort of recently, and that's kind of all I know about it. But I've not got it. I've not... Does that help anybody name it? It's a very vague description.
Are you sure if there was a Doris involved?
No, I don't know the actual names of it. It's something and something. And it's either two sisters or a sister and a brother. And one's sort of about 18 and one's 13, and they made an album. I wish my sister was not so lazy and was awake.
I mean, she's awful, isn't she?
Could tweet me this. I'll get a tweet sort of in 3 days going, oh, it's so... I know, because I'll have it. It's on the floor of the flat. Anyway. 6 in 10 Brits are stuck in a musical rut, only listening to artists they already know. Over 1 in 4 will sample songs from outside their favourites, says a survey by a music streaming service I'm not going to name, because I never do, but it's one I'd not heard of before.
Yeah.
You don't even know what I was just saying then, do you?
Yes, music streaming service that you've not heard of before. Wendy and Bonnie. Is it Wendy and Bonnie?
Wendy and Bonnie, how do you know that?
Because I'm looking at the what the YouTubers are saying, and sometimes they're helpful.
Hey, yes, Wendy and Bonnie!
Thank you, Smerrington Weeps.
Right. Should we have a little listen to it?
Go on.
There we go. Here we go, listen, this is the description. Wendy and Bonnie were American singing sisters who recorded the album Genesis in 1969 for Sky Records. Wendy and Bonnie grew up in California. Their parents, Art and Jeannie Flower, were professional musicians. All right. Okay. Right. Well, should we have a little listen to it? This is the album that my sister bought me. Thanks, you. See, I told you. I knew it, man. I knew it. Right. Wendy and Bonnie. This is where we find out if my birthday present was any good. Here we go. Wendy and Bonnie, By the Sea.
So hard to say goodbye.
Yes, yes.
Meaning it today. I've said goodbye before, leaving you alone by the sea.
Oh, this is dark. you hate
When's the
that.
bass going to drop?
Oh, I bet you hate that.
I don't, but it's just mooching. Are they going to do something?
No. What more do you want to do? What do you want to do?
We drifted far.
There you go.
Flippin' heck, this is beautiful.
Comes easy. Unlike love.
Wowzers. That is, that's pretty. Could you stop making those noises?
When are they going to do Invisible Touch?
Right, you're just being silly.
But I can't dance. I can't walk. That one?
You're just being silly. I'm trying to find. Anyway. Let's. I know what will fill a minute and 20. These ads.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee. On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
That Bonnie and Tyler album has reminded me of one of the greatest albums I ever bought, right? When my dad died, I went a bit nuts and I spent about 200 quid on DVD, time travel DVDs. And I spent a fortune on Red Cherry's website, which...
Cherry Red.
Cherry Red. No, Red Cherries first of all, then I went to Cherry Red. Red Cherry's something different, actually, Catherine. So you think you corrected me and you think you got one over me, but actually you've embarrassed yourself there because it's two different websites.
That burned you because it was a musical correction.
No, it wasn't. Let's go to www.redcherry.
You're so salty about it.
Go to redcherry.com and let's just see what to show you there. Right, the website's closed down. So let me see what Red Cherry is.
You can buy it though, right?
Red Cherry Lashes is what I bought. Red Cherry Lashes. So I bought a lot. I spent a fortune at Red Cherry Lashes. Then I went to Cherry Red Records, right? And I bought a fortune just on albums where I like the look of the album cover. And I might do that again tomorrow. And one of them was this album called T and Cara, As They Are. I mean, it's the best album cover. It's these two really scruffy individuals sat on the sidewalk of what looks like New York City.
They're eating sandwiches, aren't they?
Well, they're eating big sandwiches, but you can't really see Cara because there's a water hydrant in the way, and it looks like they've just been caught. And it's packed full of gems like this. Listen to this. Listen to when his harmony comes in, right? I've not heard. This is great. Listen.
When I was a kid, I had this friend who followed behind me, watching my heels and stepping in time. Soon he grew up and still
wait for the harmony.
Listening for signals, saluting with pride, and stepping in time, keeping his vows, watching his mouth, eating his words, and stepping in time. He tagged along and I was proud, didn't do no harm, saving my place when we stood in line. He wasn't cool, but he was there. I was his idol, and he didn't dare to step out of line. Bow to my whim, come go and stay, but don't get in my way for stepping in time. You, where did you go?
It's great, isn't it?
Makes you think Nuts in May.
Yeah.
You would do anything for me. Me and my shadow, bird and small. Slamming my door closed and walking my home. Me on my soapbox, laughing aloud. Ignored his goodbye and never asked why. Years come and go, I know it's true. Waiting for someone that you never knew. You can't lose your mind. Keeping my pride, I lost my friend. Truth in my precepts and true to the end. I'm waiting in line. Keeping my vows, watching my mouth. Eating my words and stepping in time. You, where did you go? Always was a friend to me. You never asked anything of me. Me and my shadow, bird and small. Slamming my door closed and walking my home. Me on my soapbox, laughing aloud. Ignored his goodbye and never asked why. Years come and go, I know it's true. Waiting for someone who you never knew. You can't lose your mind. Keeping my pride, I lost my friend. Truth in my precepts and true to the end. I'm waiting in line. Keeping my vows, watching my mouth. Eating my words and keeping my vows, watching my mouth, eating my words, and stepping in time.
I can't think of any other song that has the word precepts
I
in.
know, I was
True
thinking,
to
well
my
done.
I don't even know what a precept is. True to my precepts. That's great. So they went in, from what I can gather, they went in about 67, 68 to record this album, but it was like just him with a guitar and her singing, and those two singing. And they recorded it, and then they went back a few months later, and the record company said, here's your album. And they put like a whole band over it and drums and stuff. And they went, no, that's not our album. They said, yeah. So now you're going to go out and promote it. And they went, nah, not bothered. And just walked away. Just walked away.
Because they were true to their precepts.
They were true to their precepts.
Do you know what a precept is then?
You've just Googled it.
Of course I have.
Go on.
I thought it might be, but I had to double check.
All right. But true to my precepts. Well, to your preconceived ideas. To your no, don't give me the shaky head. True to your precepts. It's pre. So it's your pre-concepts, your precepts.
No, a general rule intended to regulate.
Well, that's what
behavioural thought. So the synonym would be principle.
Yeah, pretty much what I said, actually, Catherine. I think
Not-
you're fine.
Not the same at
Yeah,
all.
no, not the same, but pretty much.
Okay. Well, as long as we've all learned something, that's the important thing. It's not about being right, is it?
The one of the greatest pages in the Daily Star is the texts. The texts. You can send a text, and there's a brilliant text, right? I do this every day. Please, can you do a pic of sexy Jessie Nelson from Little Mix wearing boots?
Wow.
It would show off her hot body a treat. And fair play, that's exactly what they've done. That's exactly what they've done.
It's a very specific request.
Why would you text that in?
Why don't you Google that?
Please, can you do a pic of sexy Jessie Nelson from Little Mix wearing boots? Very specific. It would show off her hot body a treat.
Gosh.
Here's a funny. Some of these are funny and some of these are serious. If Heinz do change salad cream to sandwich cream,
They won't.
what the hell would I put on my salad?
A sandwich.
This is a great one from Mad Max the Mad Chef. All this rubbish about salad cream. If they started calling petrol go-go juice, we would still buy it. Go-go juice.
He's got 'em there.
That's a good point.
He knows.
When will councils find... This is from Dog Lover. When will councils fine drivers for parking on paths? Think of all the revenue they can rake in. Then people can walk on paths. Excellent points. Pip says, do online shoppers realise they are costing thousands of people their jobs? Soon there won't be any high street shops. Do online shoppers realise? How do you spell desserts?
D-E-S-S-E-R-T-S, right?
Okay, well, I'll read this then. What is the world coming to when a poor 90-year-old woman is beaten in her bed? I hope they get their just desserts, the scumbags. Just desserts. That's that.
Gosh, the text is really... I mean, some of them are furious, aren't they?
Some of them are furious, and some of them, I don't know.
Some of them just like boots and Jessie Nelson wearing them.
This is exciting geeky news. Some of the missing 97 episodes of Doctor Who could be returned to the BBC, an expert has claimed. Come on. I love this, right? That stuff from 65 years ago. I love the fact that even now, Beatles stuff turns up that no one knew, like film or acetates or autographs or letters. It's turning up. That's partly because people are dying, and so parents and grandparents are dying, and the kids go through the stuff in the loft. Go flipping this, and this could happen. This BBC Doctor Who archivist archivist, I'm going to say now.
Well, why?
Paul Vanesis, who unearthed 4 lost instalments in Cyprus in the 1980s, said, hang on a minute, said he knows where more of the black and white episodes are located.
Oh, of course he does.
He reckon. He found 4 in the 80s, and now 35 years later, you know where there's some more, do you, boy? The William Hartnell and Patrick Troughton eras of the show were decimated when the BBC purged archives in the 1970s with the start of colour TV, believing no one would watch black and white shows again. You suckers. Mr. Vanesis said there are missing Doctor Who's with private collectors. They may be interested in handing them over. Private collectors are weird, right? There's, apparently, there's some silent footage of the Monkees live in 1967. Right, and I was talking to someone who knows the guy that has supposedly got it. Now, he doesn't want to share it with anyone, so he's got it just for himself, right? Now, that means he either hasn't got it or he's an arsehole. One of those two things. Because
it could be both.
It could be both. It could be both. And I can understand why in the 80s and 90s you think, well, maybe there's a few quid in that. But everything... particularly the Monkees, it's not the Beatles or
How
anything.
many times are you going to watch it?
Everything is available online now.
Yeah.
When I get rare stuff, I've had stuff that is only one copy of. I just put it on YouTube and let everyone see it. Let everyone see it, for crying out loud. Who cares, guys? Come on. Last story, and this, I don't even know why this is a story, because this is just You don't say. Where is it? Next time you dry the dishes, make sure you use a fresh tea towel. Repeatedly using an old one could spread food poisoning. Well, yeah, obviously. But then again, I can use a tea towel for like maybe 3 or 4 months before thinking, I should... Actually, in the place I'm in now, I haven't got any tea towels. But I've used tea towels...
They start to smell, though.
Yeah, I know they do, but, I mean, here's the thing. This is a genuine point now, as opposed to the last 2 hours, 50 minutes. This is a genuine point.
Which have been flim-flam.
It's absolute codswallop. That we don't... The reason that so many people are dying so young is because we don't ingest germs in the way we used to, right? When I was a kid, eat dirt... Suck on a worm.
Lick your shoes.
All of this stuff, right? All of this stuff. But now, and I used to get really angry with my family doing this with the kids when they were younger. Like, not just at the end of meals, but while they're eating, they get like antiseptic wipes and wipe their hand. I think, no, Mum. I always let my kids eat food off the floor.
I think it's a waste of wipes.
It's a waste of wipes, and there's more wipes in the sea than there are fishes.
It's a fact.
But I will let, if the kids drop food on the floor,
if I can still work out what it is, it's still edible.
I don't, and we need to eat, here's the thing, we need to eat more fecal matter to survive.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No, I do know about that. I do. We need to put all kinds of germs in our body you know what a vaccine is, right?
Yes.
A vaccine is, Paul will agree with me. Paul, do you agree that we need to eat more shit?
Maybe not literally, although I've worked so long enough to know that's just part of the No, I do. My mum used to, in fact, my nan used to say, eat a pound of dirt before you die.
Yeah. Because you build up all the antibodies, But my family, my mother-in-law primarily, but my wife, when the boys were little, would be wiping their hands in the middle of a meal. I think, come on, let's get all this.
Was she Howard Hughes' daughter? I don't mean the Howard Hughes who works here. Was she OCD?
There was a little bit.
It's worse for children who ingest any antiseptic fluid than it is to the kind of tiny bits of dirt on a lettuce.
Isn't that a kind of dodgy seed to sow, especially with little boys? Because I know a lot of little boys don't like getting messy. They don't like making a mess with their hands and fingers and things like that. And and so there would be troublesome when it came
Just
to
tell them
certain
what happened
foods.
to Piggy in Lord of the Flies. Get down in that dirt.
Do you know what? Here's the thing. I've had Lord of the Flies on DVD for years. I've never watched it.
Which version?
The black and white version.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I know, and I keep. Now I don't.
Make sure you're in the right mood when you watch that.
It's bleak,
one.
isn't it?
And
I made us read that at school, flipping, eh?
No, I never. I know the rough premise of the story. I know where it's going to go, but I keep. It's one of those things I keep thinking. Oh, I must get round to.
It's one of those
that.
books. I can't remember when I read it. It must have been at comprehensive secondary school, but we had a female teacher came, a supply teacher, and we were a boys-only school, and it had been a secondary modern sex school. We were the first comprehensive year, so the teachers were more like jailers, basically, wardens, and. We read the book, and basically the premise, as people know, is plane crashes, all the adults die, loads of boys from a public school, which may or may not be important, and the kind of savage hierarchy kicks in. And this woman asked a fantastic question, but what if there'd been any girls there? It's one of those great, you think there's almost a version to be written or
Aren't
to be
they
made a
making
different
that?
side.
I think they're going to make an all-female
But this
version.
was years ago she asked that, but it wasn't all female, it was just say, what if there'd been girls there?
Right.
And because they're prepubescent, the boys, are on the cusp.
Yeah.
It's a great question, isn't it?
Do you know what? I'm going to dive into. I'm going to watch that this week. I'm not going to read the book. I can't be bothered reading.
His second book is better, I think, The Inheritors, and it's set in prehistoric times, and Neanderthals are still around, and they're telepathic.
Wow.
And us savage ones come along and kind of wipe them out, or do we? And it's a really great book, that. Yeah, he's an interesting bloke, William Golding.
I'll check that out. What is on your show tonight, apart from Tosh?
Well, we are crossing live to Singapore, as you might expect, but also, would you like to read that very quickly, and then I'll tell you we're covering that story in detail. From China.
City creates a pavement for phone zombies only. A Chinese industrial city has created look at this. A new portion of pavement dedicated to smombies, pedestrians so engrossed in messaging or playing games on their phones they run the risk of walking into traffic.
We are covering that live from China, but also I've spoken to the woman who covered the story, and she said they're also saying in China this is also for people who choose not to pay attention.
Yeah.
So they can, if you just think, I'm going to zone out for a bit. I'm going to go in the smombie lane.
Hey, do you know what? That's a really good point. No one daydreams anymore. Because you can't, no one, you would often...
my eldest daughter
You're back on Davy Jones again, aren't you?
Well, yeah, but you'd often just sit, at school. I mean, I was terrible at school because I was daydreaming. But now people can't daydream because they're tapping away, playing, Fortnite on your phone and nonsense like that. I love a good daydream.
My eldest daughter's a Dolly daydream.
Really?
Yeah, it's great.
My oldest daughter is actually called Dolly, so she is quite literally, and she is Dappy Dolly or Dolly Daydream. But lovely. When you see them drift off when they're about, again, 10, 11, 12, you just wonder what connections are they making in those minds.
Yeah.
Also on the programme, I'm going to be talking to an anatomist who's also a TV presenter, got a show on BBC 4 tomorrow night, when they've worked with evolutionary scientists and created the perfect human being. From all the things, like lungs of a swan, heart of a dog, legs of an emu, a marsupial pouch so women don't give birth through the canal.
Yes.
So we're talking about that. It's on tomorrow night, but I've tweeted the image. It's absolutely astonishing. It's a bit like Avatar meets an ostrich.
It's going to be the latest contestant on Love Island.
I think so, yeah. Slightly brighter than some of those.
They were, there was a really snarky thing in the paper about, and I heard it on BBC London the other night, about, they didn't know anything about Brexit.
Yeah.
Well, why should they?
No.
Why should they know about Brexit? They're young, beautiful people.
But one of them did ask, what is superficial?
Right, okay.
Which could be a very profound question, or it could be a really stupid question. I'm afraid I suspect the latter.
Yeah, but, this thing that everyone should be really interested in Brexit and shouldn't...
It was more, though, from that, I'm not seeing the show. I remember watching the Celebrity one, which I thought was vaguely entertaining, but this time, when they started talking about Brexit, it was the blagger who got into trouble, because in the transcript said, oh yeah, that'll damage the environment, all that, we won't be able to breathe the air.
Right.
And then I said, no, man, it's about Europe, it's not about the environment, and the other one then shut up.
Okay, right, it was about someone bullshitting.
Masquerading for knowledge they're not entitled to.
Poor Us will be on at 1 o'clock. It's always a good listen. There's loads of stuff in there. Catherine, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh, mate.
Hey, the hair, spot on.
Isn't it, though?
Very Leslie Carroll.
Who's Leslie Carroll?
Gatman, like, from the 1950s, was in Gigi, was in a film called Lily, yeah.
There we go, yeah. Well, Paul Ross is on next. We will be back tonight at 10. Until then, from us, ta-ta!